Sir.
No, I didn't get one either. I sent him a email saying, "Hey, did you send it at all?" And
Did you do
he's
the
like,
thing?
"Yeah."
Then I haven't missed anything.
JJ's here.
JJ.
Somewhere, a mountain is missing his man.
I can't. This is a slightly different setup because I moved. Can you hear me? Because I can't get it here. I can't hear
You
my.
too.
We can hear you.
Okay,
I can
cool.
hear you. And I
can
assume
hear
that
you.
Tuffley can since he reacted to
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I got everything moved for my equipment except for apparently the adapter to go from a little headphone to a big headphone jack. So,
Right. This is
I've got one right here if you need to borrow it.
Sweet.
Right. This is the new gimmick. Everybody moves house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you like your new place as much as I like mine.
Yeah, it's great. It has space for all the stuff. It's incredibly, I know how much stuff we have now. It's about as much as I thought it is, more spread out.
This place, we found this like old apartment and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 walk-in closets in the bedroom.
Oh, wow.
What?
Apparently this place
used to be a vampire lair?
Yes. It used to be, the front part of it used to be the manager's office, and the back half, I guess, was like a janitor's office, and they put a kitchen and a bathroom in the middle, and now it's a 1-bedroom apartment.
Okay.
Sweet.
Cool. We have a basement.
Wait. You have a roommate?
Well, my
Okay,
yes.
never mind.
Okay.
Never mind. Moving on.
Yeah, it's my God.
Well, I only asked because you said one bedroom. I was like,
oh, it is a 1-bedroom. It used to be a 2-bedroom, but then we moved into a 1-bedroom. Yeah, I live with my former ex, but also current partner. So,
well, you're in Portland, so you're allowed to whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I mean, you're going to burn in hell, but if you feel comfortable doing that, whatever.
Since the day I was born in Southern California and then moved to the South, I've been told I was going to burn in hell.
Yeah.
It was just the heat, though, not the humidity.
Right.
Why am I communicating with Widge over email? As when I can very well text him. It's like the slowest part I could possibly do is to email.
No, it works great for a podcast that also has cameras on. That you're just conversing in text that no one can see.
Well, I can't convert. I'm trying to. He's having issues, aren't we all?
It's like somewhere in the middle of a podcast, you're doing a text-based RPG.
I'm also very happy to know that because it is a visual thing, my room doesn't have, there's no art on the walls or anything, but I have a bookshelf behind me that I went ahead and like put stuff up so I at least have something behind me. And now I see the angle of it. I am completely covering everything. But
hey, that makes you no worse than JD Vance.
I never fucked a couch.
Well, that's what I said. It makes you no worse then. Well, you saw what happened today, right?
No, I have been avoiding the news because I have anxiety.
Oh, well, that guy has dad energy. I'm just saying.
It's not really. I'm not going to blame him for this, but their team, they were trying to put up a big sign behind the
other guy. Okay,
that's JD Vance that says, Kamala chaos. Kamala top line, chaos below. However, in their brilliance, they put a bunch of people behind him, which covered up the chaos part. So it looks like he's that he's on the stump for Kamala.
That's like when WWE had a pay-per-view called Great Balls of Fire, and then the entrance ramp where everybody stopped to pose. constantly covered up the words of fire. So it just, a wrestler would come out and you would just see behind them, great balls.
I got you. I have a better one for you. And I don't know. Let me just tell you. So we were interviewing somebody for 50 days the other day, and it's the high fantasy track. I guess that there's no point in hiding it. And they're having a dance this year. It's great. Oh, cool. You know what they're calling it? Goblin Ball. And so I'm still trying to figure out if anybody knows or is caught on what that sounds like.
Thank God they're not having two.
I know, right? I was laughing. I thought she was joking.
So what's the party next door called?
What's that?
What's the party next door called? Because there is one. This is Dragon Con we're talking about.
Taint the other ball. Taint the other ball.
And to the other side of that, it's just called anus. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Sunday at the Hilton.
Are you going this year, Tough?
Yeah. I don't know for how much, but currently I'm doing like panels on 2 days, and that's it right now. But I haven't heard from everybody I normally do panels for, so there may be a surprise mystery panel that I don't even know about yet, which is usually what happens.
I thought I'd throw in a surprise entrance this year. I finally worked at my job long enough that I can get the weekend after or the weekend of Labor Day off. And then, so I picked my vacation in late December.
Yeah.
And that day I just overslept. And so they called me up and I had to pick my vacations. So I looked at a calendar and picked my 3 weeks, and I somehow picked a week late for every vacation. So instead of going to Dragon Con this year, we're taking just a quick jaunt to New York for a couple of days. But here's the funny thing, because I geared it towards theater tickets. So you don't want to get to New York on a Monday because plays are dark on Monday. So we're arriving on Tuesday. We have all day Wednesday in New York, and we even have theater tickets for that Wednesday night. And then we're coming home Thursday. So I brilliantly booked us to arrive in September in New York on September 10th. Then we have September 11th to hang out in New York. And then we fly back on the 12th.
Well, you'll never forget this visit.
Wow. Okay.
As it looks now, we might be spending most of the 11th in Greenwich Village, though, so hopefully we'll avoid any sort. Really, the only thing I'm truly afraid, because I'm not afraid of any shenanigans or anything, I just don't want to have like nonstop traffic from political candidates, specifically maybe desperate New York political candidates that might want to be seen with a bunch of American flags behind them.
And this is campaign season, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
Not that guy. Thankfully, not that guy. It's Widge.
Yeah. No.
It's amazing. The text-based RPG is now live. Hi.
He's been built by AI, rebuilt by AI, and
God.
he just wanted to let me know that he is in now.
Yes.
No, he just does the $6 million man sound effect every 20 seconds. It's fine. That's all he does.
What, am I doing that now?
Yes.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
What? You are? No, I'm not.
No, he's not.
Sounds clear to me.
I don't hear anything.
No, he's not. Hi, Wedge. I missed you.
Hi.
That's all Toughly. I don't know what he was talking about.
And then Widge had an aneurysm.
See this vein? See it? Where's the vein? There it is. The vein. Oh my God.
Listen, I've been gone for months. That only took a few seconds. I'm good. That's great. I'm done here.
Yeah, I was surprised. For some reason, I was thinking this was the first weekend Justice of the Year, and then I looked at my emails and I was like, no, they had a couple early in the year.
We just had a sabbatical while everyone was a bit crazy. So,
yeah, just then.
Just then. It was like a crazy threshold, I think, got reached, and it was just like, oh God. So I will say this: we went to New York last month, so go to the Morgan Library if
Right.
you have not. I always go because they're fantastic, and the New York Public Library apparently has free exhibitions. Did not know.
When we were there, I guess not last December, but December before that, they had the public library had a huge Virginia Woolf exhibit,
Nice.
like handwritten notes, and it was really fascinating. Yeah, we don't know exactly. We gave ourselves, we fly in the afternoon and we have tickets to a Broadway show that first night. We just
what are you seeing?
We're seeing Book of Mormon.
Okay.
We decided that we were going to do the thing that it's not the smart thing to do. And if you're a theater goer or someone who knows anything about theater, these are not great seats, but they're also a little cheaper than the seats behind it. But when you are a little kid growing up in Mississippi and you want to go to Broadway, you just think to yourself, I just want to go to Broadway and sit in the front row. So we actually have front row seats to Book of Mormon. Knowing that, a little bit back there, they're better, but we got a good deal on them. And then we were going to do the ticket booth in Times Square to see if we could get some cheap tickets the second night. But we found out that a playwright whose name escapes me at the moment, but has a show opening off Broadway in the Village. So we just bought tickets to see that yesterday. It's called The Ask, little two-person show. So
nice.
And then so we don't know exactly what we're going to do the day before the second show. We know we're probably just going to wander around Central Park for that last day, as long as the weather's okay. But it's early September, so it should be pretty good.
And while we were there, we went to the Starbucks Roastery.
Oh,
the crazy only have one in like Seattle and Hong Kong, and so where they have a whole level for bar stuff where the baristas like do weird unholy experiments.
They have one in Seattle. I mean, I've been to the original Starbucks on in Pike's Place, but I haven't been to a roastery.
Yeah,
couldn't think of the word. Bean burnery.
Yes. Oh, it was good. It was good. But you can have good seats with front row. It just depends.
Yeah.
Like I twice I think I've done front row on Broadway, and both times pretty much by accident. We saw Cats, which was fun because one of the tunnels opened right next to us, and we weren't expecting anybody to make their entrance through the tunnel, but they did. And then Lion King.
Was it Steve Austin or?
It was not. I think I think it was Rumpelteazer. I hope it was Rumpelteazer because she was cute. But no, Lion King.
So was Stone Cold Steve Austin then?
He was.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course. I don't know that he could fit out of the.
I've got a few of his beers in the fridge that I bought in March and haven't drank it because I don't drink beer that often.
Anyway, I recommend, seeing Lion King and knowing the songs in the Swahili so you can sing along and freak out. Lebo M, the composer and the leader of the chorus, looking down and seeing this incredibly white guy singing along to your songs in Swahili.
Nice.
It did. He just was like, as you were. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, well, the whole thing about us going there in September was just because I like around, I don't know, I think it was February. Was like, I wonder how much it would cost just to fly for a weekend and get like a room in New York. How much would it cost? Oh, two of us can go for about $1,000, and we get to stay in a Hilton on 42nd in Times Square. Why the fuck not?
Yeah, that can be fun.
I'm trying to remember that I really like to travel, and you don't always have to travel for weeks at a time. So sometimes that's intimidating, and sometimes you can just just go for a weekend and still have, as long as you're not trying to see the entire city. Like, you're not going to be able to see New York in a week or 4 weeks even. I spent about 10 years ago, I spent an entire summer there and still felt like I didn't get out of Manhattan enough.
Yeah, there's a place at some point I want to just go to. I think it's in Staten Island. I think that's right. And it's a restaurant where the chefs are all grandmothers.
Oh, nice.
And you basically you there's like a schedule of who's going to be like, oh, it's the Italian grandmothers this night. And so they're doing all Italian home cooked stuff. And then
I'm just catching on. So they're not like, it's not like a regular staff. They literally just bring in grandmas.
Yeah, I think they have like a staff to support the grandmas, but basically the head chefs are, people who have been cooking for years and years and years, and apparently it's kind of like amazing. So you'll have different cuisine each night because it's Lulu and Big Mama's night tonight, so I guess we're having fried chicken, or something. I don't know, but it just sounds amazing. And we basically just went up for a weekend because we wanted to see the costume exhibit at the Met that they have going at the moment. So, and we spent all day at the Met, and we didn't accomplish hardly any of what we were trying to get to.
Last time we were there we went to the Met 2 days and still only saw about a third of what we wanted to. Do you know how long that costume exhibit's going to be there?
Oh God, I don't know. Yeah,
I'll have to look it up.
Go on the website. You can look. I think it's there for a few more months. It may even be there while you're there.
Yeah, I was just saying that could be yet another reason to go there.
Well, here is a tip for the Met, is that if you are going with a friend or companion or partner, the cost of buying an out-of-town membership because you can get a friend in for free and then you get discounts on stuff and whatever else, is cheaper or equal to what it would be to walk up and like buy 2 tickets on the day.
Okay.
So, I mean, double check to make sure that's still the case. And then we were like, ooh, we could do that. And then discounted Christmas shopping at the Met store. Okay. Yeah. So
1 year membership, I assume.
Yeah. But yeah, it was good. They had a room that had an Afro futuristic theme to it, which was really cool. And they had a Ganesh exhibit. So I got to go be amongst and draw in the energy and the vibes. Not that I believe in any of that shit, but I couldn't figure out how other way to say it.
There's a antique baseball card collection there right now.
Nice. But yeah, so it was good. We had a good time. We just went up and the day that we were at the Met, I think we wound up walking like 7 miles because we were just like, and you get lost in that place. It's crazy. Wait, we've passed this before. I swear we've passed these samurai armor before. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, and when we went before, I just had my surgery. Couldn't walk more than about, I could only walk for about 10 minutes at a time before I had to stop. But it's been a while now. I'm healed. Good. Healing.
So now that I'm finally on, I can pull up my fake agenda, non-agenda. See what else we need to talk about other than that was the other thing. Between the public library and the Morgan Library, we saw like 2 different Gutenberg Bibles.
Oh, wow.
Very, very few. Yeah, the Morgan has like 3, and they rotate them out, and the public library has one as well. So it's like, how many trips do you go on where you could see 2 of those? I don't know.
That's like the Shakespeare museum that just reopened in Washington that has something like 80 copies of the first folio.
Damn.
One of them hasn't been touched up. It's the original first folio.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first folio is crazy when you're like, oh, what was it? Was it a third or a half of the plays we wouldn't have because they had not been published before the first folio?
Yeah.
I think it's one of those, but it's a substantial number that you're like, oh shit, that's crazy. Yeah, the Morgan did a Shakespeare exhibit at one point, and there was one that came here that had a bunch of relatively ancient copies of Shakespeare stuff. So that was very cool. But yeah, so okay. So here's a question for the panel, because I'm not buying it. The RDJ as Dr. Doom, does anyone actually believe that that's what's happening?
I have no idea, but I don't think it's worth the amount of fuss it's getting. But
Yeah, I don't either.
it's like, guys, 2 years, they'll figure it out. It's fine.
Also, crack open a Marvel comic.
I mean,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Go ahead.
The only thing that I am, when everybody freaking out about and saying it's the best idea, the worst idea. I mean, we'll see when we see it.
Mhm.
But if Sony and Marvel fuck up the opportunity, though, to have a scene where Doctor Doom's doing Doctor Doom shit and blowing people away and all this awful stuff, and then at some point his mask comes off and Tom Holland then looks at him heartbroken and goes, "Mr. Stark," if we don't get that, I will personally break Kevin Feige's legs.
See, I'm fine if it turns out to be real. I don't think it is, but
Right.
I'm fine if it turns out to be real, but only if he is unrecognizable.
Yeah,
Because
because I was gonna say he's been doing a lot of, especially with his post Marvel stuff. He's been doing a lot of I'm gonna go hide under makeup roles.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he said that I saw in interviews with him where he was just loving on Christopher Nolan for basically making him throw his whole toolbox out
Yeah.
and work up something else. And he felt like that, and it helped him incredibly. But I think
And then he did that other thing where he's playing like the 6 different characters.
Yes. Yeah. The Infiltrator or something.
Yeah, the HBO thing.
Yeah. That I need to see.
Still want a heartbroken Tom Holland, though. I just do.
I understand. I'm like, I don't, for me, I don't want a variant Tony Stark. I'm like, if he's going to be Doom, he needs to be Doom. But I don't know. I still think.
Is this a we still don't know what we're going to do with Kang, so this is a distraction until we figure that out?
No.
Is that
I
what you
think it's just no. I think it's they're going to cast someone as Doom, but they're doing it's Robert Downey Jr. over here to keep you from seeing the real thing over here. I mean, they've done practically everything else.
Yeah.
They've CG altered trailers. They've put out fake toys.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, here's what I'm curious about, because they also did this as part of, well, not as part of, but in addition to the Fantastic Four hype, and Fantastic Four is supposedly going to start shooting after they got done and left the con, which makes me wonder, is Downey in Fantastic Four?
Well, I mean, regardless, you could have him. I mean, he's going to be, if it is him, or if it's somebody else, he or they are going to be a voice anyway. He's hardly ever going to be in the armor.
Well, which is exactly how he did Iron Man most of the time. So
which is
you're
why
not getting anything new.
Which is why he found Iron Man 3 such a stretch.
Yeah,
because he was not in the armor a lot. And why it's so fucking good. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing now. The Russos being back does make me feel better because I mean they pulled off some of the best movies of the first whatever of the MCU, and Infinity War and Endgame, which worked much better than they had any right to. So, I mean, I kind of trust them. I'm curious to see.
I mean, the other swerve could possibly be they're saying Downey's going to be Doom, but actually he's coming back as Tony.
I mean,
why? If he's what? What were you against with when you say you're against a variant Tony Stark? What do you mean by that? Because what if that variant is Doctor Doom?
Well, because Victor Von Doom is Victor Von Doom. He's not a variant Stark.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
I'm like, let's not do you've already done the Mandarin swap. You've already said, oh, this is the Mandarin. No, this is the Mandarin. No, wait, this is the Mandarin. We've done that. So don't give me a fake Doom and then turn out that there's a Doom.
Or that Downey's a Doombot.
Or that he's a Doombot. Something. I'm like, no, seriously.
That'd be like the Chris Evans cameo. That's great.
I would be like, and I haven't seen Deadpool and Wolverine, so.
Oops, sorry.
That's okay. Listen.
Oh, hey,
I know,
we got people here.
Hey, wrong movie.
I know that there's 65 cameos or something.
Oops, sorry.
I like your turban.
Thank you.
But
you're lovely. Hi.
I would have liked it if he was going to be a variant, if he had come back as like Arno Stark, the Iron Man of 2020 or some variation of it.
2099.
Well, it was originally 2020, and I remember that because
you're right because he wasn't in the 2099 universe.
It's an earlier edition of Cyberpunk. You gotta get the rules.
Marvel. I just assumed you were right, and I assumed we were both right, and he had somehow wound up in 2099.
That's entirely possible. I just remember he had gears for shoulder pads.
Yes, but I did like the multiverse rumor that said they were going to bring in Tom Cruise to be an alternate Iron Man, and I thought he would be a great Arno. Because he's great when he's being a dick. He's great when he's not Tom Cruise. Those are my favorite Tom Cruise roles, is when he's not being Tom Cruise. But yeah,
they also had the run where Doom had the Iron Man suit.
Yeah, superior Iron Man. Yeah.
So I don't know.
But here's the thing: what I'm interested to see is what Secret Wars are they doing? Because originally the Russos years ago did say what could get them back is to do Secret Wars. And I think
the way they were talking about it on the San Diego panel was that they were talking 84, but it could be a mix. It could be a mix of 84 and 15.
Okay, good.
Which
that's
would be
what
the
I was
best
hoping for.
I think it would be the best possible thing to do a combination of 84 and 15, because then you don't have the Beyonder thing. You don't have the Beyonder question. You just have somebody screwed up the universe, and this is why this is this way.
But you could have the Beyonder thing and just not call him the Beyonder.
You just want a guy in a jumpsuit.
No, I don't. I absolutely don't. I do not.
Again, if we get
Sir,
the Beyonder,
how dare you?
If we do get the Beyonder, I mean the jumpsuit Jerry Curl Beyonder. Again, I want Tom Holland to have a scene where he has to teach him how to poop.
We've gotten all this way in the MCU to get to a guy and Jerry Curl in a jumpsuit. That's where we've gone.
No,
that's where we're going.
That's not what I am not advocating this whatsoever. But no.
Send your emails to widgetwalls at needcoffee.com.
Oh, Jesus Christ. But no, the considering that they were able to take Civil War and make it good, I trust that they'll be able to spin whatever version of Secret Wars they want to do and make it good. And I enjoyed the new Secret Wars pretty well. It's just that I have a soft spot in the subcockle region of my heart for the 84, because that was a big deal when it happened. That was before you had event after event after event, and
And it
before
was
you
the
before
first
you
real
had time jumps. Sorry, real quick. Before you had time jumps because everyone came back in the regular books, and you had to find out what happened. Over the course of 12 months, you're like, where did this black costume come from, Spidey? Stuff like that. Anyway, sorry, JJ, go.
Oh, I was just gonna say, but it also had at the time the first real Marvel toy line. So for those of us who, I think when I was a really, really young child, I had some like hand-me-down Megos.
Yeah,
There
I was about
like
to say that had the Megos.
I
Yeah,
had a Hulk Mego and a Spider-Man Mego. No,
Yeah.
I had a Hulk and a Superman. My best friend had a Spider-Man. Excuse me, but those were the first ones that I was able to like go to a store as a young comic fan
Mhm.
and and get the lenticular animated shields that didn't work very well. But so
Yes.
I mean, not only do I have a fondness for the series, I have a fondness for the like marketing and such as well.
Mhm. All I ask is if they are touching upon the new version of Secret Wars, is that we get even just a limited series of
Force?
Thors.
Ah,
The
The Thor core,
what's that?
the Thor core.
Yeah, the Thor. Basically, the Thors were Doom's cops. He was his enforcers on the Secret Wars world, and the medical. It was like a police procedural, and the medical examiner was the Frog Thor,
yeah.
Throg. So, I just want to see that so bad. Oh, and speaking of stuff, I found out, and I posted this places, but apparently there was a time when Doctor Strange retired from being the Sorcerer Supreme.
Right.
Oh, I saw that. Yep.
Yeah, became a veterinarian, had a dog who, no, there's no spoilers because it happened in like one issue. Became a ghost dog who he could talk to, named Bats, who I am hoping is still around. But just an animated series. That's the simplest way to do it. To have Cumberbatch come back and do the voice, I'm pretty sure he'd do it. He seems like he'd game for that sort of thing. And you have all this, you have like really cool voice people coming in to do animals. And since Patton Oswalt has done his share of animals for the moment, I would say Kyle Kinane is the voice of Bats the Ghost Dog. And it would be an amazing show.
I think the thing this really does is basically everybody who thought they knew where this is going throws completely everybody off because now we don't have any clue.
Yep.
Which is actually kind of nice because not everybody's familiar with Secret Wars 2015. So It's not like Infinity Gauntlet where everybody can call, Cap's going to get the hammer from a mile away. Which kind of brings back an element of surprise a bit. I don't know if that's going to help, but, at least people won't be on the internet saying that's not like the comics.
Oh, I never.
I mean, people will, but,
yeah, of course.
When was the last time anybody said that? Does anyone really read comics anymore?
About 2 minutes ago, actually, if I look on Threads.
Welcome to the internet. I will be your guide.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, Captain.
Rob!
How's it going, Rob?
Oh, it's peachy. It's been hot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it has.
We had rain.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
A few drops.
Few drops. What did you get, John?
I don't know. We
rock.
got a lot of flooding and so there's a tree knocked over my fence and a lot of that. Nothing. So what's interesting is for those hearing this in the future, this is back when tropical storm / Hurricane Debbie rolled through.
Debbie does Tampa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lake City.
So before this came, I already had a leak in my roof, and the roofer had come out and looked at it and said, "Yeah, it's gonna, we can get it done. Blah blah. It'll be a few weeks before it can come out or whatever." And it rained again, and I discovered they didn't do anything to mitigate the problem right now. So, because then why would I? I guess why would I return, right? So it was still leaking, But the whole time during the tropical storm, never leaked. So I'm either really concerned that it somehow is leaking somewhere else in the house suddenly, or that because it was like next to a pipe, like an exhaust vent.
Oh,
That
so
was
like a plumbing thing.
Well, no, it was an exhaust vent.
Oh, okay.
An exhaust vent, like like to let out
Yeah.
heat or whatever it does.
A return thing.
Yeah.
Return.
So, or that got ripped off at some point, and so now it's just leaking directly down onto something else, and I haven't found it yet. So I don't know what's going on. Anyway,
Good
but yeah,
luck.
so the whole entire time during the storm, never got a drop coming out of where it was leaking.
Good news, bad news.
Yes. Well, the funny part about it is, it was leaking into a tub, so it was like, okay,
well, of all the places,
exactly.
Wow.
I mean, you're already gonna get wet, so. And outdoor showers in Florida are a thing, so.
They are a thing. Even
They
when
are.
you don't want to take a shower, they're it's everywhere. Yeah.
It's really weird when a neighbor puts up one in a common area, and there's just takes a full on shower there. But it's outdoor showers here. It's allowed.
And there's Gerald. Hey, Gerald. Hi.
And little
John.
He's completely pixelated.
Rob, you're going to see
Yes, Florida's The Sims.
Washed
You're
out.
Washed Out. I don't
Yeah,
know who
Tuffley.
they are.
Tuffley will know who they are. They're from Atlanta.
Oh yeah.
If you saw Portlandia, sorry, JJ,
Yeah.
if this gives you flashbacks. They did their song. One of his
You're
songs
muted,
got used.
JJ.
One of his songs got used for the theme for Portlandia.
Gotcha.
Very cool.
So it's
Yeah,
a
I just
genre-
never watched it.
Apparently, the kids call it chill wave.
If you've watched all the seasons of Portlandia, that's the thing that got shorter as time went along.
Oh.
yeah,
Oh.
music
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
The
gonna
opening
consider-
titles kept
Yeah.
getting shorter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed that,
You
Rob.
heard less of that song.
That wave is the new core.
Yes.
Everything used to be something core. Now there's chill wave and slow wave and crank wave and I don't know what I'll fucking wave.
I'll show you my crank wave.
I think that was your neighbor Gerald who was showering, right?
Oh, Rob,
Yeah,
where are
that's
you
what
seeing them?
pixelated.
That
I'm
was
seeing them
in,
here.
that was in
town, down the
Doom
street.
used in Secret Wars 84.
That's what I meant. Where in town are you?
It's a place called Delmar Hall.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah.
Nice.
Very cool. Get a
Yep.
shirt. Get
It's,
yourself some merch.
I love the venue because they're really nice. It's like, I'm like, hey, I'm doing a couple things. I'll be there late. And they're like, okay, we'll hold a chair for you. Just show up when you show up. And I'm like, oh, okay. It's kind of cool. So Yeah.
Later
I think
this
we're
year.
seeing- you go and see? Yes.
I was just gonna say later this year is the first time since COVID that I've ventured into a big music venue. I'm gonna go see
Ooh.
Priest and Judas Priest in October.
Oh,
Wear a
nice.
mask.
Ooh, nice.
Wear a mask.
Nice. Who's opening at that point?
For this thing, I don't know tonight.
I meant for Priest, but also
Oh.
I think Watched Out. He's just touring. He's just touring on his own because they were here earlier this year.
Yeah, they got an open. Let me figure out who the opener is. Hold on, I can.
Yeah, the opening act for Priest is a band called Sabadon.
Okay.
I've heard of them.
Nice.
Yeah, they do a
Go ahead.
ridiculous cover of a Motorhead song called 1916. That's ridiculous.
Ooh.
I finally get to see Idols and I don't have to go to a festival. Yeah.
That's
Yes.
cool.
I mean, I think you mean to say we.
Well, yes, that's right. You are coming.
Yeah. I was going to tell JJ something, and I completely forgot what it was now. So I interviewed JJ. I interviewed Haircut 100 a couple weeks ago,
Oh, nice.
and they were talking about when they made their first record. Motorhead was in the studio next door recording Ace of Spades,
Whoa.
and he just came in and hung out with them while they were recording, and just said, "Yeah, I needed a break."
Nice. So he got to listen to Love Plus One while they played Ace of
Yeah.
Spades. How lovely.
Nice.
Widge sent me a thing the other day. Was that Jazz Sabbath? Was that the thing?
Yeah, Jazz Sabbath.
You need to look at that, JJ. Jazz
Okay.
Sabbath.
Also, if you haven't heard it, I recommend Brown Sabbath sometime as well.
Oh yeah.
Have you heard Liquid Shit yet?
No.
It'll change your life.
I mean, yes, but no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a band.
That goes back to the leak, and we don't really want to.
It follows up. It follows up next to Guy Man Dude as worst promos I've ever gotten from a record label ever.
Nice.
So.
Well, okay. So what was it they sent you?
They just sent me the record or the digital thing for the. It's horrible. It's just like.
Oh.
Do you ever get the feeling when you get those that occasionally the label is just playing a prank on you?
Sometimes.
Do you ever get one of those where you just look at it and you go, "Oh, come on"?
I have one label person I deal with it every year for April Fools. He sends out their regular promo emails. He goes, "One of these upcoming projects is fake." And he won't tell you what it is, and he has a contest to figure it out. But they're good, man. They're really.
Did it ever turn out to be one of the best things you've gotten that month?
No, because what it'll be is like he'll like just say upcoming releases include blah 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 blah, and he'll write descriptions, and one of them is actually like not real. Like this is Japanese slowcore band, Wasabi, or like this is Texas barstool rock or something. Just the sort of the cool jargon that all those little monsters use when they promote all their bullshit.
Oh, so you haven't got the thing where they send you the white label and don't tell you what it is, and that's the prank band.
No, I do miss as a DJ getting the white label 12 inches. I do miss those because I got a whole bunch of white labels, but I can't figure out what the hell they are because I didn't write on them. The coolest white label I ever got was from the Wax Trax rep back in the day, and it was one side of it was Beer, Steers, and Queers by the Revolting Cocks, and the other side was their version of Let's Get Physical, the Olivia Newton-John cover, the one that they eventually could not release because it's a word for word thing, and Olivia Newton-John sued them.
Wow.
So yeah, if you look that up, it's amazing. So
hey, so should we talk about our friend Flavor Flav at the Olympics and Snoop Dogg? Come on.
So I just
our national treasures.
Our national treasures.
my head exploded when I saw Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg talking about dressage. I'm just like,
well, that was last night. I watched that.
That was just.
Although first, let me just shout out Gojira. I'm just saying.
Fuck
that was fucking awesome.
And if anybody who if you haven't seen it, go to the internet and find the version without fucking Kelly Clarkson and Peyton Manning talking over the whole fucking thing. You can see it out there without them blathering on, and it's fucking beautiful.
It's really good.
I complained about this.
So
nice.
Yeah, Aaron Phoenix are great. I was wondering where they were in the opening ceremony, so I'm glad they're doing the closing.
Well, what's hilarious is that I did not know that it was Gojira the band.
Yeah.
So I saw Gojira is doing the lyrics out in Paris. Really? I would have thought that would have been Tokyo, but I mean, okay, cool, whatever. And then I was like, oh, never mind.
Well,
that does go to their naming, though.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah,
it's great.
But that's just how it goes. Gojira went to the opening ceremonies, and then Galactus showed up in San Diego.
Yeah. That was crazy.
They were here in Jacksonville twice.
Yeah, I had not really heard of them until then, and then it's really funny, JJ, because you were on my list of people to say, oh, hey, what do I need to know about Gojira? So now I can ask you what do I need to know, and you can just tell me later. Because I'm just like, what is this? It's amazing. So
yeah, well, they're coming here. They're coming to Portland in just a couple of weeks, but sadly, you could not pay me enough to go. I don't even want to. They're opening, and I don't even want to be that close to that many Korn fans to watch the opening band and leave.
No.
Wow.
Wow.
So anyway, back to Flavor Flav and Snoop Dogg. I just wanted to shout out Gojira real quick.
I love the opening. That was so great.
I'm not a big Celine fan, but also the Celine thing was actually pretty cool.
Here's the thing about her. So they said that she did it live. There was no recording of that.
Yeah.
So chops to her. It is Edith Piaf. So yeah. So
yeah.
but yeah, Flavor Flav's, the hype man for the water polo. That was
Possible future Red Lobster owner.
yes. That, and he paid somebody's rent too.
Paid for the polo team, paid somebody's rent.
Yep. So
Like, good on you. Somebody's getting record sales money. It's fine.
Yeah, I saw on social media a couple days ago somebody said that their mom called them up and then told them how much they enjoyed watching Ice-T at the Olympics and not Ice-T, excuse me, not Ice-T. I fucked that up. I just went completely white. Excuse me. Watching Snoop at the Olympics, and he was like, you grounded me in junior high for buying his records.
that's right. Yes. Oh, that and what was it in '94? Snoop Dogg was in London. There's that story where he was, I guess, up on charges for murder.
Oh yeah, that was during the murder was the case era.
Yeah, and the thing is so he was touring in England, and Harry and William both listened to him. So. Yeah. It was the Queen that sort of gave him a pass of like, my grandsons love this Snoop Doggy Dog. So
yeah, his excitement about everything has been great.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I forgot who's retiring from cycling. I forgot.
Lance Armstrong, but that may be
everyone not named Armstrong. Yeah.
No, Phil Liggett. He was a long time, commentator for cycling. He turns 81, and so he's retiring. So
yeah. I saw the table tennis mom lady who's like in her 60s and competing
61.
for competing for yeah.
I like the one where somebody said, my 7-year-old was astounded when I told them that Snoop Dogg was a rapper. And I said, well, what did you think he did? And so the 7-year-old was like, I thought he owned the Olympics.
This year he does.
Yeah,
he does.
All of this is mine.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Pretty great.
Well, it was funny because, like, early on, because Johnny Weir and Tara Lipinski, they have the winner, the Winter Olympics.
Yeah.
So it's like early on, it's like, oh, did they need Snoop Dogg as the summer, Johnny Weir and Tara Lipinski?
Although, suggestion for the LA folks, body count. Let's get them in the opening ceremonies for the LA. I think you can top. I think you can top Gojira.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
It'd be fun to see them try.
Yes. I'd love to see Rage Against the Machine and
just bring together a whole bunch of bands. Like have the torch be run through Compton and somehow get NWA back together.
That would be amazing. Yeah.
Oh, love you.
So, Rob, are you watching it through what, Peacock, and just having a constant stream? That's what I've been doing. Where'd he go?
Yeah, I'm pretty much having it on, and it's on like 3 different USA networks. I've been bouncing around if I don't want to see one thing and see the other.
Yeah.
The badminton's been great.
It has been good, yeah.
Taiwan beat
archery
China.
Was good.
I watched some of the archery. I love the Turkish shooter guy. Just like, hi, bang, bang, bang. I'm done.
Yeah.
See you later.
Okay. We need to dispel. There was also his partner chick.
Yeah.
He was so.
Yeah.
Well, Rox, I
wasn't-
don't know if you saw my theory about that, because everyone was like, "Oh, the guy's like an assassin or whatever," and I'm like, "She's obviously the assassin because she wanted not to be noticed. She was there. So like, you stand out front and get all the attention. I'm fine No,
Right.
you never saw me. You know,
This is it's the Yakuza side quest. That's what this is.
yeah. My assumption is that, you know, if, you know, and something like that, the female is always smarter, and they're probably running the show, and so, you know, and Rox, you know, you would I think be all for staying behind the scenes and not being out front. You know, the silent partner.
This is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully Peacock won't fuck it up and like remove things right away, because I want to at some point when I have a little bit more time to like watch stuff, I want to see the breakdancing, and I really want to see kayak cross as well, because that's a new sport this year as well, and it sounds fucking crazy.
Well,
Kayak cross? What?
Kayak cross. It's
Okay.
like motocross, but with kayaks. You have to it first of all, it's a kayaking sport that contact is not it's not disqualified. You're not supposed to just up and punch somebody, but elbows can be thrown. And you have to you have to go under obstacles and like over things. Like you're supposed to flip the kayak, like go under something and then like flip the kayak back.
So it's road rash with kayaks.
Yeah.
In a giant hot tub, yeah.
But I haven't had a chance to watch any yet. I literally, you know, to again be the whitest person in the room, heard about it on NPR going to work one day and was like, this sounds great.
Well,
Yeah.
I think they need to put like parkour in the Olympics. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Didn't
Well,
they have it?
it
I thought they had it
was.
one year.
Did they?
Yeah.
I think they did it as a
I think it was an exhibition.
exhibition.
okay.
Yeah.
I did miss the trampoline this year. I'm kind of bummed.
Again, I'm hoping that's on kayak, because I heard who won that today. It sounds interesting.
You mean Peacock?
Yeah,
Not-
whatever
not-
the fuck I said.
You said kayak.
Kayak.
You know
I
what?
get kayaks on the brain.
Comcast is still trying to figure out a good name for that. So maybe that's what it will be. I don't know.
All I know is
Oh.
every time I cancel it, they tell me I can come back for $20 for an entire year, and I'm like, okay, that lets me watch WWE pay-per-views. I'm okay.
Yeah, I like JJ. I like how CNN described kayak cross: Mario Kart with boats.
Fuck yeah.
I like it.
Nice. Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, you're not allowed to have metal oars, but occasionally people apparently do get huge face gashes.
Wow, little talented Mr. Ripley action going on, I guess.
Yeah,
The-
you're
the,
supposed to tape up the sides of your oars.
So was this originally one of the Red Bull things? I'm curious. Was this originally one of the Red Bull kind of demo sport things?
I think so, because they start
That
you
sounded
above,
like it.
They start you above and then they just drop you.
Yeah.
And it's just like, is this like it's like I can see this at a water park. And you have to sign your life away so you could ride the ride.
I kind of remember because when ESPN does the Ocho, that's one of the sports that's usually on there. So
There's the 12.5 meter plunge.
well, there it is.
Whoa. Someone's got a clogged toilet.
Oh wow. Yeah, and there's Simone Biles being ridiculous.
Yeah.
I was telling Cosette when I saw her routine that Simone, it's like I've seen athletes that you could tell they're in the zone before, right? And you're just like, wow, that's amazing. Well, look at him go. Jeez. But Simone looked like she was not just in the zone, she had like built a second home there with like
a little cabin,
an in-ground pool, and it just, you know, had just been taking up residence there. It was ridiculous. The smooth, again, it's like a, you know, a duck paddling, because there's a lot of work going on that you can't see, but it was astonishing. And you know, if it's so good that I can tell it's good, then because I don't know shit about sports. Bye, Rob.
Well, nobody does it, but it's the Olympics, so
Of course not. No one
Nobody
does.
does.
Nobody does.
Nobody does.
It's the Olympics. It's the only time people actually watch it. It's when I
And
watch it.
the other person of note, well, there's lots of people to note, but the woman who won at trampoline, who did her PhD on something about the acoustics of dinosaurs or something like that.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so there's been a thing going around saying, if your daughter's like, oh, I want to jump on a trampoline and study dinosaurs, you tell them that is a valid career. You go for it. But
I want to know what you're saying. Colin Kaepernick losing his mind over.
oh, So-
isn't he like seeding like AI investment or something?
he's
No.
starting a comic book company that is going to be AI driven,
Oh,
and a whole bunch of creators.
so you mean cross-gen?
Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh,
I was gonna say he's just
Ooh,
hiring
like
Greg
too
Land.
soon. Too soon.
I like the original cross gen.
Yeah, but Greg Land.
A version of cross-gen did exactly that.
Which version?
The one that was like copying artwork from old issues and then not paying people.
Oh, that came. That
Yeah, that was later.
Sojourn. Every issue of Sojourn.
Oh man, I couldn't read that one.
It was fine until they put Land on X-Men, man. I didn't care. But
But yeah, so a bunch of creators met with him and said what a not great idea this was, and apparently he's going ahead with it, and people are pissed. And it's weird too. That's why I had also in the non-agenda about the whole AI stuff that keeps coming. Is anybody really impressed with any of the shit that they've been seeing that's
So
been
I-
AI driven?
so the thing is, I have, because it goes both ways. I have days where it's like, oh, this is like sampling in 1990, right?
Oh.
This is like the Wild West of everybody trying to figure out what this is. And what it's going to take to get this under control is, unfortunately, what happened with De La Soul and the Beastie Boys, where they just get the shit suit out of them. And then they go, oh, we have to pay people for this stuff. And then it kind of settles and regulates itself. And there are other days where it's just like, this is like sampling. And the other argument is, no, this is a lot worse.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm somehow because you follow technology and stuff, so I'm not like the old guy on a lawn, but I'm also like, how bad is this really? You know what I mean?
I think the analogy works if you say we're going to basically take music as a whole,
Yeah.
squash it down, and then sample that. And it's going to be so squashed and contorted that you're not going to be able to pick out specifically bits of it, but you could tell that it's all been used. All of music has been used to create.
Well, I mean, the other thing is, especially with music, we've pared it down to if it sounds like a thing, they can sue, right? We've gone to. Oh, this feels like Marvin Gaye, so we're just going to sue.
Well, but they sued Ed Sheeran for that, and Ed
Sheeran won, right?
He won.
I mean, granted, blurred lines, but so it probably deserves to be sued into oblivion. But that one's fine to get sued out of oblivion. But maybe.
However, you did just give the best argument for AI so far, because it basically makes it sound like eventually we'll get Paul's Boutique.
Again, yeah. See? We're back to sampling in 1990. There we go.
Oh my God.
That's where technology has brought us back to 1990.
Yeah. My whole thing is it bugs me what it's being used for and how it's being set up, and it bugs me that they're like, oh, it's gonna make shit up, and we can't stop it. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay,
I think that's the part that I've been. I saw a thing and it was a discussion on Tech Linked, which is one of the Linus channels, where they were talking about how the internet is getting kind of segmented, and with the AI, certain companies are making deals with other larger corporations to be the sources for the scraping, so that you get summaries instead of searches that just show you where the link is. So you can't go and read the thing,
Right.
but you get it summarized from like only the 3 sources that agreed to be paid for being the sources. And that sounds troubling.
well, didn't Google just lose like a big ass lawsuit on their domination of search?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I
They
would
did. They I think it was ruled it was a monopoly.
Mhm.
So that's kind of that happened like a couple of days ago.
Yeah, that's really recent.
So that's really recent. But also the fact that they're trying to use Chat GPT's doing this, and Perplexity. I think Perplexity is the main one that's doing this, where it's the web searches. They're kind of moving into search, and it's this thing where they're doing the summaries, but they're doing the summary. So instead of doing a web search where they show you the links and then you go to the links to read the thing, they're doing summarizing of the sources they've scraped. And the way it's worked out, because they've made these deals with certain publishers who are threatening to sue them, that they only have they're only scraping from these sources. That they're being
It'll be the same
Yeah.
consistent sources.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. It's so like Apple's like classical now streaming or whatever thing is, it took them years because because of the algorithm, say you wanted, I don't know, Eine kleine Nachtmusik, okay, from Spotify or Alexa or whatever, they found out it plays the same recording of somebody that some, orchestra did in like 1984. It doesn't look at the variations. And, when it comes to like, if you're doing a search, you're not seeing the secondary other stuff. It's like
you're not seeing all the versions of the thing.
Correct. Yeah.
So it's not like in pop music where you can tell, I want to look for this version of this title song by this artist. If you just type in like the name of a song, it doesn't know what to give you.
Right.
Because it's like, if you go, I'm looking for, I heard it through the grapevine. It's reasonable that you might be looking for Marvin Gaye. There's other versions, but 9 times out of 10 people are looking for the Marvin Gaye version. Whereas if you're looking for a classical piece, I mean, that's like how many times, even stuff that you would think would be the default, like the Carmina Burana, the Robert Shaw Atlanta one, which is used in all the films, you'd think would be the default, but no, I mean, it never comes up first, ever.
Right.
So,
right. And as far as, so in my world, my now world, the scary thing about AI is they're trying to sell it, and it's still at the hype stage of selling AI to firms to write or legal briefs. It's scarier than you think.
Well,
no.
Don't they have an AI that was acting as a lawyer? Like in official cases? Didn't they have one of those?
So we had a thing. There was a pilot program for mediation. It was called ODR, and it was online dispute resolution. And what I do is ADR, which is alternative dispute resolution. So ODR online. I could see, and I talked to the director in one of the counties for like an hour. Like, how does this really work? So basically, you have to have buy-in. You
Yeah.
know, the plaintiff and the defendant sign in.
Mhm.
You know, plaintiff offers, defendant counters, or whatever. But if there's a stalemate, then a mediator steps in. Now, this would be a live person, but I can see where down the road it could be an AI of some, like a chat. This is confidential, can't do it, and it's like this, they'll do like an opening statement of some sort. And I can see where it is not a real person, just like the chat stuff. And I can see the problem where, especially with, say, consumer debt, it runs the same pattern. And the pattern is defendant stops paying on a credit card, it gets charged off. If it's not some of the larger companies, they sell it off. Then you get sued, and it runs the gamut. And I can see where AI of some sort, they can streamline the whole thing, because they bought the debt pennies on the dollar. The average price for the principal for small claims is about $1,500 to $2,000. So you got it for nothing. If you have if you move to like an AI system, you're not paying a coverage attorney or in-house attorney. So there's a whole host of, and then you would remove like paralegals. You would have somebody going, okay, it would do like an instant search, instead of finding that legal brief that is microscopic that you use with a scalpel for an argument. People would use the same argument.
But what I could see happening, since I mean, AI makes stuff up, which is one thing, but them admitting they can't stop it, that's what freaks me out. So what I could see is somebody doing that until one of these AI paralegals makes a misstep, and the other side, I mean,
and how liable are they for this?
Yeah.
I mean, well, it's like you, when you kind of want the defense of like Alec Baldwin and the Rust thing, where there was a problem, something got fucked up, and they stepped up and went, all right, that's fucked up. And the judge was like, you're right, that is totally fucked up, and threw it out. So I could see, this costing somebody a lot of money.
Yep.
And that there's the equivalent of the Beastie Boys getting the shit suit out of them.
Yeah.
Is somebody losing because,
well, again, that's what I mean. I mean, because usually how do we get technologies that we don't understand under control? Usually it involves somebody suing the bejesus out of somebody else because something screwed up. And that's usually how that works.
Well, when you consider we have people that aren't using the technology that we have that's available correctly.
I mean,
and I'm talking language.
Yeah. And I mean, the other thing that gets called into question is, like, what are these AIs? What information are they using as a base? Especially in a situation like that. The other thing
we've scraped all of the people's court.
Yeah, right. The other thing, or TMZ, like we've scraped TMZ for all of its legal knowledge. I know. But then the other thing is just the very icky thing is the just the scraping of like Facebook, like the everything you post is being used to train a language model. Okay,
which is why I advocate turning, at least 25% of your feed into total bullshit.
Oh,
Like,
I already do that. That
Yeah.
that is my feed. So
All the-
that
the
is all
alt
my
tags,
feeds.
all the alt tags I write have the real thing, and then AI colon, and then it says something like, if it's a plate of spaghetti, it'll be like J. Edgar Hoover. So I mean, it's just I
That
want
is
to
already
completely-
my entire internet existence.
Well, there you go. See, you're ahead of everybody else.
And it's already under my actual name because
I-
I was stupid in 1983. But
Plates of spaghetti and J. Edgar Hoover. Is that your?
Yes.
What does your
Yes.
TikTok look like?
that's it's him and Tom York. That's what they do. That's all they do now. It's fine.
But I think, I mean, the other thing that bugs me is that these people are using AI to write books. And the example that I saw was, books about going out mushroom hunting. And
See, that was the question I had about the the Kaepernick thing. Is like, is he inviting people to write the prompts for these things? Because I want to go and I don't care, don't pay me, but I want to go and write the stupidest prompt and see if it becomes a comic.
Well, the thing with the mushroom books is that it makes stuff up, which could lead you to eat mushrooms that are lethal and kill you. I mean, they found this in mushroom books written by AI. It's stuff that will kill you.
Solving indigestion by eating rocks.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, that is actually.
Well, goats do it. Why not?
Llamas do it. Goats do it.
Basically,
Why don't
just
we
the
do it?
platform of the Republican Party.
we haven't gone any farther than sampling in the 90s and speaking spells from the 70s.
Ooh, there
That's-
you go. It all started with the speaking.
It all goes back to the speak
spell.
and spell.
Oh my God. Wow. That would be imagine if there was some kind of Terminator setup where you finally got into the core of Skynet and it was just like a speak and spell and one of the old Merlin games and then one of the Simon games, and they had just been.
It's the Milton Bradley Zardos.
And strangely,
Oh my God!
it's one of those old football games as well.
Oh my
Actually,
God.
if Colin,
Football game.
Colin, if you're listening, because I know you do, if we could just get to a prompt and write in Milton Bradley Zardos, see what you do with that.
just to see what happens. Oh
You're
my
just
God.
gonna get a bunch of electronics from the 70s just with dicks.
I cannot wait to see what the fucked up mystery date is.
If you have the Mr. Monopoly or whatever his name is, but dressed as Sean Connery
Yeah.
with the
Money bags.
giant money bag, with the giant
Money bags
braid.
2000.
Oh my God, that would be amazing. It's like I don't think it's ever finished.
John Carpenter's Milton Bradley Apocalypse.
Somebody did a kind of Kingdom Come-esque, Watchmen-esque thing starring all the cereal mascots. And it was astonishing.
It was Serial Killer, if I remember correctly, was the name of it.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't Frosted. The Netflix movie?
But
that masterpiece of. I saw something that said it was nominated for an Oscar.
what?
I don't think it was released in the theater.
Yeah, I think
I gotta check that now.
I
I
think
mean-
the animated short rules are different, though.
well, Frosted
Fro-
the
I was talking about Frosted.
Seinfeld. Yeah.
Seinfeld.
But no, I mean, it used to be.
Oh, it's called Unfrosted.
Yeah.
Oh.
It used to be all you had to do was run it in New York and Orange County for 7 consecutive days, and that would be enough. I think it's also you have to do that before it comes out on television, and then it would qualify. I think they might have increased it to 5 theaters or something, but it used to be just 2. So that's why
Oh.
you would see. That's why you would see. Oh, it opens on Christmas, but it doesn't get here until February.
Right.
So
I was mistaken. It was actually It was nominated for an Emmy,
okay,
which is still also a little disturbing.
Yeah.
I did not see it.
It's
It-
not great.
Okay.
But they were nominated for Outstanding Television Movie.
Well, I mean,
Well, there's a big wide range.
There's a very big, wide,
Yeah, well,
crazy ass
what was it?
range.
what was it I was seeing that you had? And I don't remember any of the specific examples, but it was like such and so is being nominated as a limited series, as an anthology, even though it's an ongoing series, and that means that this is now available to be in here, and it's like a big fucking mess.
Which means everybody will get a participation medal.
Which will piss off Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh my god!
Right. Yes.
Yeah,
People don't understand how humor
So
works.
speaking
People
of
don't
that,
understand
so
how
I
awards
was gonna-
work.
So speaking of bad shows, did you Ridge, did you see that Apple TV's got Time Bandits?
I saw that they have it. Have you seen it?
I tried to watch the first 2 episodes and I'm like, whoa,
I like
not even
Taika. So.
funny. It's
See,
you know,
I like Taika Waititi's approach to things, so I would give it a shot. You know, and
I'd
just
give it a shot too.
just
I-
knowing that it's
I
not
want to
gonna,
see it.
it's not going to be funny right away, but it'll get there probably.
I miss our flag means death. So if
I love that
that's
show
how I
so
have
much.
to go,
Yeah.
if that's how I have to go to get my absurdity, so be it.
My understanding, I haven't watched it yet because I haven't started it yet, but my understanding is that it progressively gets better as it moves along.
no.
So
Well, okay, what's her name is what is it, Phoebe K?
Lisa
uh,
Kudrow.
Lisa Kudrow.
Lisa Kudrow.
Lisa Kudrow. Yeah, she's good. I like her.
Yeah, she is good.
It's I guess it's all right. Really, do you need to draw it out for like X amount of episodes?
Well, I mean,
And okay, all right. My thing is
Well,
I
that's my
love-
critique of most television shows is do we
Yeah.
really need to drag this out for 8 episodes?
yeah.
Can we do it in 2?
Well, that's
Well-
what's sad is that these days, and this is what I like about at least the Disney Plus approach on a lot of these shows,
Yeah.
is that it's like, well, we have enough for 8 episodes. Well, then do 8 episodes. You know,
Yeah.
they've started doing that, as opposed to like on Netflix when they would be with Luke Cage, you go, we have 11 episodes, and they're like,
See,
you have space for 12.
I see that on the other.
episodes.
I see that on the other end with like people were complaining about Doctor Who not having a full run because that run was actually a reduced run,
right.
and I'm like, you know what? It's still running.
It's still
Stop
running,
complaining.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Well-
And
again-
technically with like the anniversary shows,
mhm,
so the 3 of those plus the 8
Yeah.
right.
plus the Christmas episode,
Uh-huh.
you still got a full run. You just didn't
Yeah.
get it all at once.
Give me.
Correct.
I will be happy with 4 really great episodes as opposed to 11 not shitty ones. You know, it's like when the example I always use is Faulty Towers.
Yeah.
If you go back and watch, that's like what 12 episodes.
12
12
total.
episodes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And
By the way, Widge, did you see Cleese is going to be at DragonCon?
I did see that. I did see that.
I would like to have met him before he turned out to
Yes,
before he
I
revealed
know.
himself. I actually
Yeah.
bought that
I
Faulty
know.
Towers
I
vinyl
know.
set that had a signed John Cleese with it.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I love having it, but it when I ordered it, John Cleese was an asshole, and when
Yeah.
it arrived, John Cleese was an asshole.
Yeah.
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 Well, but still, even though it's 12 episodes, what I find is I am perpetually amazed that it's 12 episodes. Like
Yeah.
I can
yeah.
watch
Yeah.
all 12 episodes and still be like, wait, that was only 12 episodes? What the
Yep.
fuck?
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
they're so good
They are good.
and he knew when to stop. So I would much rather, give me
So
6
my
episodes
thing,
than,
okay,
like,
so
11.
I guess my beef is
Mm.
Time Bandits was so good with just even the bit parts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like if you were YTT, it'd be like I want to be in your show, even if it's just doing a small cameo.
Mhm.
And if you're doing Time Bandits, it's a perfect place to do it.
Mhm.
So, and it just does it. And I'm not sure if I'm sold on that kid.
Well, and I was originally not happy about the fact that there were no little people in the Time Bandits
Yeah.
crew. However, it looks like that they're working for Taika, who is playing God.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there are some. So I'm like,
There
okay,
are, yeah.
all
All
right.
right, fine. He was playing Blackbeard, and now he's God. Okay, fine. Upgrade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. His Blackbeard was fucking great.
Yes,
Hell,
I know.
his Hitler was great. I mean,
His Hitler was great.
I mean, seriously.
Of
No,
all
I
the
know.
Hitlers,
No,
all the
there-
Hitlers, that one.
You've got Downfall, and then you've got Taika. That's it.
You do, yeah.
Yeah.
the Rose City Comic Con that's here the weekend after Dragon Con this year has Reese Darby and 3 of the other cast members from Our Flag Means Death.
Yeah.
And it's like the weekend it's the 8th and the 9th, and I'm flying to New York on the 11th. I absolutely cannot afford to go there and waste money. I so want to go there and at least waste the money. Oh, and Simon Pegg's going to be there as well.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And so it's like for my particular, loves of media.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's a hard one not to go to.
Is Kristen Narn going to be there from Our Flag? He was Hodor, but he was also in Our Flag Means Death.
Yes. I didn't watch Game of Thrones, so I don't know Hodor,
Okay.
but I do remember there was someone with a very similar name to that, because there was someone that I was like, it's
He
not
is also a
Kristen.
DJ.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Is
Yeah.
he going to do a set?
Yeah, because the character who played Jim, who's also on Star Trek, is going to be there. And the last person played the character Pete, the one with the hair lip.
But yeah, I will watch Time Bandits just to give it a shot, because I always was like, why is this not a series? Even though I think
they've been trying to make it a TV show for a while now.
Oh
yeah, they have. Because
Yeah.
I was like, I always thought they just needed to pick up from where the movie left off because they had the map.
That's right.
It's in the Polaroid. All you
Yeah.
had to do was
Polaroid.
blow it up, and you have the map. And I was like, you just take that as your leaping off point, and especially after your parents are incinerated by evil,
Yeah.
why not?
Well, it's so funny because when you consider like Jim Broadbent there were so many people in Time Bandits that later on you notice them. Like Jim Broadbent was that Your Money or Your Life show. He was the MC for that show, and David Warner was so great. I think the guy playing Supreme Evil is pretty decent.
Because that's what's his face?
Oh, it's Jermaine.
Yeah,
Jermaine Clement.
Thank you. Yeah, when I saw the cast, I was like, okay, all right, I'll give it a shot, but I don't know. I'm worried about it.
Besides all the stuff Jermaine Clement's done, I really loved him on Legion.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
He was fantastic on Legion.
I've got to go back and finish that show. I watched most of the first season and I liked it, but I didn't get into it.
I hung with it pretty regularly until through the second season, and then I think third and what did they go for?
I thought it was just 3.
Okay, so 3 gets a bit. I finally caught up to it. It's okay, but seasons 1 and 2 are way better.
Yeah, 1 you got to finish if for nothing else than
Aubrey Plaza.
Oh god,
my god,
unbelievable! And I'm still
and the Agatha thing is coming up too.
Yeah,
Ooh, yeah.
Which
yeah,
I was looking like, and the minute she comes into the trailer, like, oh okay, I'm here. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's good.
But yeah, I still can't get over the fact that after the first season of Legion at Dragon Con, we didn't see a bunch of black and white Aubrey Plaza with the bang, because I was like, it's perfect. I didn't see a one. Like it's so iconic. It's amazing. But
it's an FX show. They don't do those.
I know.
This is a stupid thing, but I was just like, you're doing a Legion show and you're not even at any point giving him, like, even in a nightmare or anything, the like crooked neck and Legion hair. Come on. Even in the New Mutants movie, we got a fucking Lockheed.
I still haven't watched that.
All right, kids, I'm heading out.
Oh, okay.
All right.
All right, Rocks.
She's being a responsible adult.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
weird.
wow.
Wait, what's happening? Rocks can't be leaving. Oh no!
I'm leaving.
It's all blurry. It's gone to hell.
So I'm going vintage old school.
Oh, for your recommendation,
Ah.
yes. What do you got?
So I found this 1919. Oh, where is it? 1947
Oh, I thought you were doing a Paul Hardcastle song. Never mind.
magazine called Mercury Mystery, and it's called Relative to Poison by E.C.R. Lorak. I've never read this person before. Female writer who wrote in the heyday of yes, girls can write. Agatha Christie, Dorothy Sayre, she wrote quite a bit, but she kind of fell out of, I guess a lot of the golden age mystery writers either, stick around or they just fall out, and she kind of did. But there's now a new interest in this Lorak. Very interesting, very pithy writing, very quick read. Relative to Poison, they're reissuing a lot of her work. So I know Kim reads mysteries, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Have her look into
Yeah, that would
Lorak.
definitely be her jam.
Yeah, because it's she's got the language down, and the funny thing is it's interesting because she was like a teacher or something, and she's got like technology down for the, I guess for, of the time and stuff, and her sense of language and whatnot. So I've been having to read a lot more because I have to write a lot more as far as, emails and stuff. And so I get onto my unit, like, why is it people can't write? What is the deal? People need to write. So read to write. So that's my soapbox.
There you go.
Read to write.
Cool.
You'll be that person and learn cursive too. Thwart the young with the magical technology of cursive writing.
Rocks, you need to sell that on a t-shirt. Thwart the young. I think it'd sell.
I think so. All right, kids. Bye.
All right. Bye,
Bye.
Oh my God.
I said a ding for her, but I don't have it.
You what?
Ding.
Ding.
Ding. There you go.
Yep.
I forgot all that.
What else did I have in here?
Wow. I have not seen the Cape Crusader yet, but God, I want to.
I have a friend who watched the whole season and described it as very, very Bruce Timm in all of that glory and problems.
Okay. Yeah. Still want to see it. Cool.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to hear.
It sounds like it's Diedrich Bader doing Batman as well, which I really like.
Yeah, I'm not sure who the new voice is. I haven't looked that far in yet.
I just saw the ad and it sounds like Diedrich Bader.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I saw a thing with him. I can't remember his name though. I'd have to look it up. But he was talking about, and what everyone wanted to talk about, and rightly so, was what do you do in the wake of Kevin Conroy if you're, doing Batman? And I'm like, I wouldn't want to follow that shit. Holy God.
It's a dude by the name of Hamish Linkletter.
Oh, yeah.
I recognize that dude.
He's in some video game stuff too.
Yeah, he was the preacher in Midnight Mass. That show's fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I knew he was from.
And Diedrich Bader's doing Harvey Dent, which is why I heard that voice.
Yeah. And so speaking of Batman, that Penguin, both Penguin trailers, I think it looks pretty good, honestly. And Colin Farrell is scary. He's like
Farrell was great in the Batman. So
he was.
you
He was
know,
like one of my favorite things in Batman, in the Batman.
the Batman.
Yep. Yeah, that's what the new Superman film should be called, The Superman, to differentiate it, since that appears to be the thing now.
Or Low Superman.
Or the unique geek.
But no, I would never have guessed it was him had I not known going into it that it was him.
Yeah.
Because he's
Yeah.
I mean, that was probably maybe an unpopular opinion here, but that was probably my favorite Batman movie. Just because I was enjoying the film, and then I fell for it at the end when Batman actually saved people, and I was like, holy fuck! They DC movie where a hero actually stops and saves people. I don't believe I've seen this now. So, but yes,
I mean, I thought it was all right. I thought it was all right. I thought the ending, especially with the fight sequences, were really good. I just kind of, I don't know. I don't have names today. The guy who's playing Batman, Bruce Wayne,
Robert Pattinson.
Robert
Thank you,
Pattinson.
Robert
Yeah.
Pattinson. Yeah.
Excuse me.
I mean, my thing was, it's like, for me, you could have had pretty much anybody in the role and gotten the same thing. So and he's great. I mean, he can act his ass off. All you got to do is watch The Lighthouse.
The Lighthouse. Fuck
Which
yeah.
is just him and Willem Dafoe going insane for like an hour and a half. But no, he's great. But I was just like, what is he bringing to this that somebody else couldn't bring? And I also did not care for swoopy haired Bruce Wayne. I don't know, for some reason that bothered me. But it was like, for the longest time in the film, Paul Dano, another great actor, I was like, why did you cast Paul Dano in this? Why? Again, anyone could have done this. And then you had the scene with him and Batman in the asylum, and I was like, that's why you cast Paul Dano. It makes total sense now. Perfectly done. But there was never a moment like that for me where I went, that's why you cast Robert Pattinson, you know? But again, it's just me.
I did like Unabomber incel Riddler, though. I thought it was interesting.
It was interesting, but again, I was like, if you've got somebody like Paul Dano, I'm like, why did you make a point of getting him? And then, like I said, in that asylum scene with him and Batman, where they let him let go.
Right. But yeah, I also think sometimes these actors want to do these movies, kind of like the story that happened a gazillion years ago when Robert Downey Jr. convinced Gwyneth Paltrow to do Iron Man. He was like, "Don't you want to get paid for a movie that people see?"
Oh, jeez.
And so I think every once in a while, someone like a Paul Dano goes, "Okay, well, maybe I don't have to make another farting corpse movie. Maybe this time I'll make a more mainstream movie." Now, don't get me wrong, Swiss Army Man is one of my favorite films of all time.
And it eventually led to Everything Everywhere. So
yeah.
Yep.
But no, I totally get that. And I always go back to the Michael Caine, it's the Michael Caine excuse for Jaws the Revenge.
Yeah.
I needed a house.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you're playing the Michael Caine excuse card, whatever, dude, I totally get it.
Yeah.
You got to be paid.
Michael Caine, Jaws, Anthony Hopkins, Dracula,
Yeah.
And Anthony Hopkins was more Michael Caine in Dracula than anything. So
there's just something.
I have not seen the new thing he's kind of in yet, but
which
the Roman games thing where he's kind of in it. Yeah.
All will die, or people
those
are
about to die.
For those who are about to die, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gladiator Light.
I kind of kind of love.
CW Gladiator.
Yes.
Wow.
Well,
I
probably
kind of loved him in
no.
Dracula.
Gladiator of
because
Thrones. Yeah.
He
All of
decided
those.
he realized what the film was, and decided he was just going to step on the gas and just keep his foot down the whole time.
Yeah.
And you could see this with one of my favorite lines of all time, which is just, "She is the devil's concubine."
Exactly.
Whoa! I was like, holy shit, that's amazing.
Part
By
of the
the way-
reason I like that movie is because Gary Oldman's in his own movie.
Yeah.
Anthony Hopkins is in his own movie.
Tom Waits is in his own movie.
Yeah.
Oh, Tom Waits is the goat in that movie. And then you've got,
Keanu
Winona
and
Ryder.
Winona are in a separate
They're,
film.
they're in a bad movie, and I
They're
like
in a bad
Keanu Reeves.
Regency film. It's okay. Although this makes me think, like, I had heard the lead up to like the second Gladiator, and I'm like, I didn't give a fuck about this. And then I saw the trailer and Denzel's in it, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Exactly.
Now you have me, Gladiator 2.
Exactly. It's like,
Fuck.
yeah, you're not playing fair, Ridley. You're not playing fair.
I had avoided anything from that film until before Deadpool.
Yeah,
And so I was like, oh,
that's when I
great.
saw the trailer, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck, Denzel's in it. Damn
Yeah.
it.
And I recognized it was Gladiator 2, and I was like, well, I don't give a fuck about this. And then by the end of the trailer, I was like, that looks like it
I'm
could be
gonna have to
okay.
go to that.
And
Damn
then
it.
Elizabeth whispered in my ear, "We're gonna go see that." And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, well, I'm gonna go see that.
Well, it's
If like he's only in it for 10 minutes, I'm gonna be very mad.
well, it's not
It's
just
all
that
over the trailer. If he's only in it for 10 minutes.
It's not just that he's in it. He looks from the trailer like he's running it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
You just go,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is
Yeah.
your movie." Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
That's like, if I get there and it's 3 hours and he's only in it for 10 minutes, I'm going to be very pissed
for
off.
the love of God, text me and warn me. Please text me and warn me.
Don't do the scream thing again, okay? Don't.
We needed a lot
Exactly.
of him, and we needed a lot of Pedro Pascal.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. My
Roman
thing is,
sad dad. What the hell?
it's like who I'm convinced that Ridley Scott has been taken by the same aliens that stole John Carpenter, because I don't know why he's revisiting these franchises so he can try to ruin them. I don't want to mention any names because that would be indiscreet. Prometheus, but I'm worried about Gladiator 2, and you're right. I honestly had no intention of seeing it, and then he wasn't playing fair, and he put Denzel Washington.
Yeah, I heard Pedro was in it, and I still didn't care because I'm like, he's in everything now.
Yeah.
But like I got in front of Deadpool, and I didn't really even had thought about it until wait, what's this Denzel thing?
And the ambush.
Oh shit, that's Gladiator 2. Damn it.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
And Pedro Pascal is in everything, but I recently, I know that it's been out for a while, but I recently got around to seeing The Unbearable Weight of Mass and Talent.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God damn it. He's got the new Idris Elba card, and the fact he can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
And I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Mm.
One of the things I really liked about was him in Wonder Woman 84, even though that's not actually the character, but I did like him.
I still haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either. I don't know. It didn't appeal.
It's okay. It's erased now anyway. It's fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't count.
It doesn't count. Although I will say that I kind of admire that James Gunn is being very James Gunn, and his first project as
Creature Commandos looks great.
His as head burrito of DC, because he wasn't that when he did Suicide Squad, but his Creature Commandos.
Oh, that looks great.
Yeah, and Viola Davis is back as Amanda Waller.
Yeah,
in an animated form.
Yeah.
So I'm very
Flagg
impressed.
is back as well. The guy who played Randall Flagg is back. Not Randall Flagg. That would be.
It's a different. It's
his
different
dad.
because it's his dad.
Yeah, but
So
drawn the same, so I assumed it was the same actor. Oops.
No, it's his dad, and it's
yeah. Hang on.
Oh, it's the guy from the Marvel movies.
Oh, okay.
It's Grillo. It's Frank Grillo.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah,
it's
there you go.
Crossbones. Gotcha.
It's Frank Grillo. He's doing his dad.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Phrasing.
and according to this from
Hey.
May, because I just Googled Rick Flag Sr. Creature Commandos, he's going to be in season 2 of Peacemaker as Rick Flag Sr.
Yep.
So there you go.
Yeah, because that's the thing. He was saying that even if it's animated, the people who are voicing the characters are going to be them when they show up in live action.
Yeah. And they've tried to do that with Marvel. I think they've offered everybody to come back, and anybody who didn't, they just replaced them. But,
Yeah.
Not according to Batista. Batista said they never called him.
but I think when you consider that they brought back the woman who was Jeff Goldblum's sidekick
Oh,
in Ragnarok,
Yeah.
they brought her back for like 2 lines or something.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the wires got crossed with Batista. I really do, because they brought back they offered it to literally everyone else. So
I slightly random, but
Yeah.
so today I was on hold for a government call for way too long. So I was, looking through discounted toys at a website and found out that Hot Toys made a Stan Lee from Ragnarok.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Wow.
so cute. It's too much money, but it's so cute.
oh god.
Oh, did you? JJ, you saw Deadpool, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You did see the cameo they snuck in, right?
Yeah, it hit you like it was on the side of a bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, the toy that killed me out of San Diego this year was the giant Tiamat
Yep.
Dungeons and Dragon from the show.
Even
Massive.
worse. I got a text from Brian going, "You want that?" Like,
Massive.
no, do not do that.
The appropriate answer is yes. Yes, you do want it.
Here's the thing: I get angry when people like do that and get the expensive thing and then give it to me. You know what I mean? It's weird.
Well,
But
the best
I
thing
get
you
like,
can
no,
do,
don't
Tuffley,
do that. Don't spend that.
Tuffley, I think next time that happens, you should
I'll tell him to send it to you.
send it to me, and I'll take it for you, and that way you'll spare your. And I'm just because I'm a giver.
Yeah, I know.
You just-
And immediately when we had that conversation, he texted me like, "You want that, right?" No, do not get that. Do not get that for me.
I want it so I can make little hats for all the heads and change them out.
Yeah.
And I want a giant yard inflatable version so that
For
it
Halloween.
lights up. Yeah, for Halloween, Christmas. It's like the 12-foot skeleton. You just, I want to put Santa hats on all the heads. I mean,
Yeah, the thing that
Like-
people keep suggesting that I have a front yard is that I should get one of those, and I'm like, yeah, as long as it inflates and puts itself up and then takes itself down when it's done, because I'm not going to do that. I did not buy a house to do work.
You might want to consider moving.
I know. That's why the backyard is entirely a deck.
Yeah. One thing I saw come out of CDC that
I paved it.
CDCC that kind of got me is, even though it's a character I never read, it was a character that was in a lot of ads in comics when I was reading them for when Marvel UK was still a thing, and so they're putting out Death's Head.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Okay.
In Marvel Legends, and it looks fucking gorgeous. I'm like, I really don't need that. All it is for me is an ad for a comic I couldn't buy, but it looks so cool.
Yeah. If you're gonna do toys based on just ads, even though that was actually in a comic, but we need Aunt May as the golden oldie. The Herald of Galactus. We totally need that.
They completely ignored that when they did a What If line. They based it on just the cartoon. Big mistake.
Yeah. I still need to watch season 2.
Yeah,
But-
I haven't either.
Oh, season 2. I saw season 2. That was really good.
I made
I
it through
thought
all
so.
of Secret Invasion, but I haven't watched What If season 2. What the fuck is wrong with
What
me?
is wrong with you?
Oh God.
Oh, the 1602 thing is great.
You made it through Secret Invasion.
I did.
I
think
made it
that's
through
that's
it as
the pickup
well.
line. That's what we need to concentrate on.
Like you can like even if you don't watch the rest of the what ifs, the 1602 one is
Yeah.
great. I love that.
I
That was
just-
fun.
What I've told people about Secret Invasion is go on YouTube, find all the Olivia Colman bits, watch
Yeah.
those, and you're good.
Yeah.
All I want is maybe in Thunderbolts. I don't know.
If the asterisk is that she's in Thunderbolts, that's great. I'll take
Yeah,
that.
Olivia Colman. I want to
If
see
that's what the
Olivia
asterisk
Colman.
means.
If Olivia Colman and Julie Louis-Dreyfus
Oh God,
have
yes.
a scene in which they face off and have like a verbal jousting match, oh, I really want that. Yeah, I don't know what the asterisk is either. I was thinking, and that's why I was like, I thought of Tuffley immediately when they started doing the announcements at Marvel, because Tuffley always comes up with the wild theories that are always better than the reality.
You did send me the text going, I
Yeah.
am waiting for your theories.
Well, so what is your theory about the asterisk? Because my thing was, I'm wondering if
Well, the cynical thing is, yeah, it's totally a Suicide Squad thing. They're trying to be irreverent. But no, I have no idea, because originally what I thought was the Red Hulk thing was going to carry over into Thunderbolts.
isn't it?
I thought that was because he's not in Thunderbolts. Supposedly.
Supposedly.
Which may be the asterisk. The asterisk could mean lots of things, apparently.
Yeah, I have two theories. One,
Yeah.
that it's hiding a subtitle that's just going to give away the ghost for something that hasn't been revealed yet,
Yeah.
Okay.
or that they're doing something stupid. Like they, or at least from what I understand, they thought it was funny for the Agatha Harkness show to call it Agatha All Along, but pretend like it had other titles. So all of these, like, Agatha Harkness and the Coven of Darkness and all those, that was a joke because it was Agatha
was funny.
all along.
Right.
Well,
That was funny.
It's
I
fun,
know
but
they
they didn't reveal it in a way that it played strong.
I know
I
they had discussed the thing with the titles where they were going to actually do parodies of television shows as those titles.
Yeah, so I just
And then
wonder.
that never happened. So it's like, yeah.
I just wonder if the asterisk is because something's going to happen, and like maybe at the title of the film
Yeah.
or something, it's gonna like fall
Something
away.
that happens
and
in
there's-
Captain America, and we get a title. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what I was wondering is, are they doing some play off of, and I don't know how, but the only thing that sprang to mind was the first 12 issues of the first volume of Thunderbolts, where you thought it was one thing, and they did a brilliant reveal where it was completely different. And it's one of my favorite redirect, mind fucks of comics history. Is they managed to go 12 issues, and then you get to the end, and they did that reveal, and it's just like, oh shit.
Because I originally thought, honestly, in my bizarre idea, I originally thought that the conspiracy in Captain America was going to bleed into Thunderbolts, and the Thunderbolts aren't told that the president is the Red Hulk, and they kill the Red Hulk. Or they kill the president, and that's your storyline. But they're not going to do that now. So,
well, here's a question.
Yeah.
So we know that Giancarlo Esposito is playing Sidewinder.
Yep.
In New World Order.
Yep.
But I don't think that's his voice talking in the trailer.
Nah.
Do we have any idea who that's supposed to be or who that is?
I don't remember. Was that Isaiah? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
But we are also supposedly going to have some of the Serpent Society there. As well.
We are going to have. Yeah.
I mean, I doubt that they would hide that, but they are going to be there.
Yeah.
Because there's at least one professional wrestler hidden in there.
Okay. I was curious about that because I'm like, is that going to bleed over into Thunderbolts?
Because I mean, obviously, I like JJ's theory because it makes the most sense. Something happens in Captain America, and then we get the subtitle. Because I'm imagining, because again, I know the other thing is they reshot parts of New World Order to include Esposito.
Yes.
So I'm guessing that has more to do with
Thunderbolts.
the connection to Thunderbolts because they delayed filming on Thunderbolts 2.
Yeah, and it could be
So-
something like, the
Yeah.
Thunderbolts, the search for Sam Wilson.
There's something. And I wonder if it's, because I know he's supposed to ask Sam to put together a new Avengers. And I'm wondering if then the Thunderbolts is the answer to, well, you have the Avengers for the above board stuff, but, when you need something done.
Dirty deeds done cheap.
Yeah, exactly. Then we've got
Sure, AC/DC, let's use the song because we did that before.
Why not? Although I'm curious as to see how you bring in.
And that's how you bring RDJ back.
Yes.
He plays some AC/DC, and he just
just comes
appears.
back.
He just
There.
walks on frame.
Well, and I'm curious as to how you bring Yelena and Red Guardian into Thunderbolts, because it's like, is this supposed to be an international thing or what is? So I don't know.
Right, we know that Yelena has.
Now, originally, Rachel Weisz was in it, but have they cut? Was she cut from this? Is she still in it? I know originally. Yeah.
I don't know. I just know that she needs to be in a Disney Plus series where her and the Widows team up with some of the Dora Milaje, and they go around the world like the A-Team, like a female A-Team, providing beatdowns where needed. And I would watch
The
that
movie
for like
version
10
of the
seasons.
A-Team, not the television series, the movie version.
Oh,
which
the movie
was
version.
really funny.
Yet another thing that I needed a sequel for.
Blow out all the tires. All tires must be blown out.
But
there will be no tires left inflated. All the cars will flip.
You know what? I hope Rachel Weisz is in it, because the family interplay at the dinner table of Black Widow is one of the best things in that movie.
Yeah.
It was so good. I mean, it is. I don't know about you guys, but I was just like, holy shit, I have been at this dinner table. But,
minus all the spying and the mind control, but basically that. Yeah.
The fuck was wrong with your family? That was mind control was a whole part of growing up.
That was last Thanksgiving, buddy.
I grew up in the South.
So yeah, I don't know. I am curious about it though. I'm curious to see where the hell it is all going, because I don't see, like, at least with the first part, you had the Thanos stones thing going.
Yeah.
And I thought for a minute we were going to get that because you had the weird bracelet thing from Miss Marvel, and then you had the rings. Because I remember them saying at the end of the movie,
again, that's the question. Like, where are we going now? And that's that's mainly what the Robert Downey thing does. The Robert Downey thing goes, well, obviously they're not doing most of those things, or they're remixing this in a way that nobody can kind of guess, which is part of the reason you do something like this. So you can go, oh yeah, that takes the whole I know what happens next because I've read the comics thing. So I don't know. Do we still get Young Avengers somewhere along the line? I don't know.
I mean,
I hope so, because they've set it up. They've set
that hint. We got that hint of
haven't seen Deadpool and Wolverine yet, so
no.
This
Deadpool and Wolverine really doesn't require you to know what the hell is going on, which I will say is nice, but also sort of takes away from. But there's this other thing that I wanted to know about, but
so I feel like I had to explain to the one thing I had to explain was the TVA.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If you watched Loki, you're fine. But if you didn't watch Loki, you could be really confused as to what. I mean, you can get the gist of it, but you don't understand the whole.
Well,
like when he says, "Is there a boss or somebody I could call?" I'm like, "Are we getting Hiddleston in this?"
Yeah.
Well, the thing too is like with Young Avengers. I mean, is there anybody we're missing apart from like Vision from like the original team.
Yeah.
But I think
we do not have a Marvel Boy yet.
was he in the original team?
He was in the season, I guess the season 2.
Okay. Yeah, I would be fine with a.
That's the one I'm more familiar with. I don't know about the.
Yeah,
I
for
kind of
Marvel Boy,
loosely know. I kind of loosely know the first cast.
Yeah.
But then they did the whole that mini series where they solved M-Day, which was a little weird.
Don't remember. I think that was when I was still checked out.
Yeah, the Young Avengers thing where Wanda resurrects like Clint, and then ends the whole mutant thing, and yeah.
Well,
okay, that's it. It's the Marvels that has the Young Justice or Young Avengers hint.
Well,
yeah,
because what I'm hoping is that, because I think they set it up, is that
because apparently people keep breaking into our apartment, and now that's going to be a thing.
Yeah.
Kate,
I think
Kate doesn't put locks on, or
I think Sprite from the Eternals should end up in Young Avengers.
You said that.
Yeah, because she's
but
human.
She'd have to get her powers back.
We don't know that she doesn't have her powers.
Okay.
They just made her human. They never said anything about the powers at all.
Well, I mean, I guess that's the assumption, right?
Yeah, but I mean, we know that they can make somebody a mutant by playing like 2 seconds of the X-Men cartoon theme song.
Yes.
That's all you need.
Yes.
You know, wait, you have powers? Oh, she's a mutant.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That worked.
But yeah, I just think it would be a nice touch because because I'm like, you made her human, so that means you don't have to worry about her not aging. So might as well.
I don't want to give up an interesting cameo in Deadpool, but there is one problem they could solve very easily with a future project. They could just not do the future project and then do something else.
Okay.
People who have seen Deadpool, I'm trying to.
Yeah.
I've seen Deadpool. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
That one guy.
That one guy.
That one guy that doesn't have the accent, but isn't the other lady.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
We could solve that problem. We could solve that problem real quick.
Yeah, don't give away that cameo.
And just do the other thing.
That cameo actually got a standing ovation in my theater.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Nice.
Wait, the only thing that
I've done this in a way where everybody knew it and Widge didn't figure it out. I've won.
No,
I've won the podcast.
No, you have, because I'm just like, it was the dude with no accent who wasn't the lady, and I'm like,
oh, you mean of the 3 that happened later?
Yes. Okay. The 3 that happened later.
I want to make sure it's not the same person, because then.
No, don't. Okay. No, I did that already. Don't do it again. I did that accidentally, but don't do that again.
And I will say, I'll also try to be kind of vague here. The only thing that bothered me as a Marvel fan, and it's like this much, just this much as an X-Men fan, that at the end of the film, there are 2 people in a room that have been on a team before.
Yes.
I just wanted them to say hi.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And the fact that they were they're even in the same shot together, but I just wanted one of them to say hi to the other because they're pals.
Well, I was amazed that the thing that wasn't said at the end was, there's an X-Men team here, right?
Yeah.
I can see why they didn't do that, because that sets up something you might never get.
Right. But I also think it's a fucking crime that we've had 3 Deadpool movies, but we still haven't had a Negasonic teenage Warhead like series or solo movie, because I love that character so much.
I'm just saying, if we don't get to Secret Wars and there's not like a very particular thing involving probably at least 2 of the characters you're thinking of, I'm going to be very, very pissed off.
That has to happen. That has to happen.
That has to happen.
See, at a certain point, you could just start making shit up, and I would have no idea you'd switched over into La La Land. So
Yeah.
That guy with the thing.
That guy with the thing.
The thing and the thing.
Yeah, we know the thing. You're talking about the human torch.
Yeah. Right.
And I'll go ahead and shout this. I'll go ahead and shout this out because you've got this on your not really an agenda thing.
Yeah.
The conceptual stuff for Fantastic Four looks really cool. The 60s stuff looks really cool, I thought.
Yeah, so is it actually in a different universe in the 60s? So it's not
a different universe in the 60s in the kind of future perfect kind of like the thing you saw in like the Boeing ads and like the World's Fair stuff. That's what they're doing, which I think is really cool. If you're going to do that, if you're going to do it and set it in another universe, fine. Let's go World's Fair. Let's go everything's World's Fair. Yeah. I
mean, like, I hate to say it, but
like all the Bell, like and I think some people will know what I'm talking about. But there's this short film that was the Seattle World's Fair. This Bell AT&T Bell. This is a Bell Labs short that gets roasted on MST. I think you can watch it really late at night on Pluto. But the World of Tomorrow.
Okay.
One of those World of Tomorrow movie shorts. That's what it looked like, and I thought, okay, this works. I feel I would like a Fantastic Four in the modern era at some point. But yeah, if we can do this, we can do the first one as a period-esque one, like Captain America. That's fine. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, well, and I like the casting of Pedro Pascal, but I will say when I first heard they were doing it in the 60s, I'm like, how are they gonna play that off in American history? Because a Hispanic
alternate universe, baby.
Yeah, because a Hispanic man married to a blonde woman, and they're supposed to immediately become beloved by everybody. And I was like, I would like for that to be the past, but it's not.
Because again, the first place I go when I saw that conceptual stuff was like, oh yeah, Venture Brothers. Okay, cool. Yeah. Super Science, Venture Brothers 60s. I'm there. Cool.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is it's the Tomorrowland sequel we're never going to get.
Yes. And it totally looks, at least from the conceptual stuff, it totally looks like that.
And I really, really, really hope, I truly hope that we at least get the words unstable molecules.
Oh God, we should probably get them dozens of times.
I would hope so, but I can see them just not bothering because sometimes they don't bother with the pseudoscience of comics.
Well, the reason I would think you get it at least once or multiple times is because this entire film is super science.
Yeah.
This is super science, the fucking movie. Because at least that's what it looks like. At least that's what the universe looks like and what it is. So if we don't get unstable molecules and more, the negative zone, all of it.
Well, I just want to. I think you're what you have is because Tony had the whole suit things disappear. So you have that happen, and something with their costume happens, and you go, oh, unstable molecules. Oh, nanotechnology. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's like it's the super science equivalent of Gucci. Yeah. Oh, that's really sweet. Yeah.
They're not going to do this, but I just had an idea for an interesting twist. If you wanted to make make the thing a different kind of sad, is if he could switch forms back and forth in his multiverse, and they bring him over here and he can't.
Oh, dude.
Oh, that's the thing for Secret Wars where he's stuck.
Oh, yeah.
Because again, 84 Secret Wars, there's that whole after Secret Wars.
Cosmic wrestling.
Exactly. The entire thing run.
Okay.
Where he's stuck and can't change back.
Oh my God. Can you imagine?
Where he's stuck on that. Yeah.
Can you imagine a thing series with the wrestling and you bring in all these wrestlers to play the other unlimited, what was it? Unlimited wrestling, wasn't it? What was it called? UCW or something?
Something like that.
I think, I thought it had the word universal or cosmic or something.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, I would hope, the one thing I hope they ease up on is the whole you know, Reed can be a complete asshole.
Yeah.
Which I mean,
I would almost certainly think by casting Pascal, that's where they would be going the anti-asshole route.
okay, because part of that
Distracted,
is
but not asshole.
because part of
Yeah.
that is that the only way that they can redeem Multiverse of Meh is for John Krasinski to come back as the Maker.
Yeah.
Which
Here's the
needs to happen.
thing. Speaking of swerves, what if we get Downey Doom for like 5 seconds, but the real bad guy is also Reed? Is also the Maker.
Well, if it's the Maker, basically, as long as Krasinski comes back as the Maker, I don't care how or when or whatever. I just need it to happen because
here's the other thing.
nobody deserves to have one shot at Reed Richards, and it's in that piece of shit movie.
Because the other thing is, Doom in Secret Wars kind of goes both ways.
Which version of that did you? I think I read the edited one.
Well,
anyway, sorry.
That's a bit more of a complicated character. He's not necessarily.
Yeah, that is kind of when they started Magnetoing him up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Which
really
would lean
love,
toward the Downey thing, is what I'm saying.
Well, I do. As far as the don't make Reed the asshole, but do play the Doom card of this is what is most advantageous for me to do at this moment.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm doing whatever X is, right? So that's how you got him in the comics, siding with the Guardians of the Galaxy against like Dormammu and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he will do it for his ego as well. Well, I'm doing this because no one else can do it.
Technically, the Maker. So the Maker is a little bit more imaginative with using his abilities than Reed.
Yeah.
So technically, the Maker could just be wearing Stark's face.
This is true.
Because the Maker has done
possible.
some shape-shifting before.
Yeah.
A little bit.
But again, I feel like going to like Downey as the Swerve and it's really Krasinski. Sure. Why not? And he's gone.
Yeah, killed him.
I know.
No, but I just like the idea of being spaghettified by Wanda, warped his brain, and now he's the Maker. And I like the idea of using Stark's face because he would totally do something like that.
Yeah.
He's a messed up individual.
I haven't read a lot of Ultimate Fantastic Four, so I'm not all that familiar with the Maker. I will say though, when I read the first issue of the Ultimates book, like from last year,
the Hickman one.
Yeah.
There's Ellis Fantastic Four Maker, and then there's the Hickman one.
Yeah, and so I read, I read that issue, and I was like, okay, well, the Ultimate Universe was never really my thing. I read the Bendis Spider-Man and then Miles Morales, but I could never really get into it. But I will say that the ending of that issue, I don't think I've ever been angrier than when the Maker just casually flicks the fucking spider off Peter Parker. And walks away, and I'm like, fuck you. That's the rule. Martha Kent's got to drop her pearls.
Yep.
And Peter's got to get bit by a spider. You don't get to fuck with those images.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's such an interesting conceit. And I did love in what was it, Ultimate Invasion, the lead up to that, where he sought out Miles just to say, I can tell you're from the same universe I was. I'm going back. I just thought it would be fair to offer you a ride if you wanted it. Right. I was like, I really like that, I also liked the Miles Morales, you are from another universe. He's like, yeah, I know. Yeah. That was good.
It just popped into my head. If they ever want to make a DC Marvel crossover happen now, you could just have them Baker go and fix the DC universe. And that's your setup for the crossover. Like Like he saves the Waynes,
Oh my god!
and that's your starting point. He saves the Waynes.
Wow. Yeah, I will. I will say that was
Pearl's not clutched.
yeah that was quite possible. That was like I remember when Morrison had JLA,
Yep.
and then they left, and was it Mark Wade came in, and I was like, is he going to be able to pull this off? And he did.
And he did, but yeah,
Yeah,
he
because
did.
Tower of Babel, it's like you
Yeah.
open
Yeah.
with something. So it's like it's like it's as simple as I'm always angry. It's something that you just go, oh my god, why has no one thought of this before? That's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
How do you distract Batman? Well, we should probably move towards recommendations.
Okay.
Oh
Because
yeah,
it's-
we're supposed to have recommendations.
Yeah, and I, because it's late, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm old, so
We can just as older, wiser, more tired.
yeah. I don't know about wiser, more of a wise ass. So who wants to go first? Go, Tuffley!
I would recommend moving boxes, sturdy moving boxes, and quality packing tape. That seems to be really good when you're moving house and putting things into boxes.
Yeah,
Really great.
definitely good moving tape. Don't skimp on the moving tape.
Don't skimp on the moving
No,
tape.
don't do it.
I will actually, as a genuine recommendation. He's still touring, so you can catch this show. Orville Peck is touring around. That dude is awesome. I just kind of got into him through Kim, but that dude is awesome, and he's also got a duets record out. This really weird duets record out called Stampede.
That he should it should be his I am like in my 50s record now, so I'm doing duets, but he's doing it way too early.
But it's a really kind of cool record if you think about the conceit of it. It's kind of all over the place. Kylie's on it, Beck's on it. He does the Willie Nelson thing is hilarious. It's great.
Does he do Cowboys Are Secretly?
Yes.
Oh, great! That's such a great.
That's the leadoff single that was on there. And he's got he does something with Kylie. He does something with Beck. It's a really good album. It's fun. But he puts on a really good show. So if you can catch the Stampede tour, that's I think still going through amphitheaters and kind of sheds. Check that out. The other thing, Camera Obscura put out a record called Look to the East, Look to the West. Way back in March when I was coming to be on this thing and I didn't because we moved house. That's a really good record. Don't sleep on that. That came out earlier this year. That was great. And there was the reissue of the Portishead live in New York record. It came out digitally and on CD last year, but they released it to vinyl this year, so it counts as a new thing, and I can recommend it. So, Portishead live, Roseland, NYC. Some people you can find it somewhere as PNYC, but it's a really good record, and it adds the tracks that weren't on the original release but on the DVD, so you get kind of the full show now. So, really good stuff. Check that out.
Cool. All right. Thanks, Tuffley. All right, JJ. What you got?
Well, I recommend, in my case, what I recommend is going to a friend that you know that moved recently, borrowing a bunch of boxes and moving in a way that you can afford to by stuffing like just loads of stuff in the back of your Kia and just sort of move quietly over a couple of weeks. Just rent a van once to get the beds over and you're good. But thank God for a Kia Soul. They have just enough room to get a good load of stuff, but not enough that you're like destroyed when you empty it. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that too.
As a more serious,
also Kia Soul owner, that worked very well.
Yeah. So
we're really recommending the Kia Soul, except for the whole theft thing, which we're not going to talk about.
But I put the yellow bar that Kia sent me across the front.
There,
Uh,
everything's fixed.
Yeah. I mean, they told you when they gave it to you. It's like, this is a visual deterrent. It's not fixing shit, but whatever. Uh, but also I moved into a place where my insurance went down. So huzzah. But on a more serious note, so basically, everybody knows what I've been following the same shit as pop culture as everybody else has lately. I watched The Acolyte. I like The Acolyte. I watched Deadpool and Wolverine. So I don't really have anything to be like, I recommend this, but I will say, so my local comic book shop, Books with Pictures, for about a year now, we have had a book club. So we get together once a month, and we'll take a trade or a graphic novel, and we have read some really, really good shit. But the last one we did, that I it's been out for a while, but I just got around to, and it was really, honestly, one of the best comics I read last year. The Nice House on the Lake by
Oh yes,
by James Tynion the Fourth.
And there's supposed to be a volume 2.
Yeah, the Nice House on the. I was trying to see. That's not coming up on Google as quickly. But yeah, the first issue of the sequel just came out last month.
Sweet. Okay, I didn't realize that.
But it is, without. I mean, it's kind of it's not the easiest thing to describe, because it's kind of a horror book, but it's not really a horror book. It's sort of like a comic version of No Exit in some ways, but it's also, there's a little bit more to it than it's got a little bit of a Secret Wars flair, and the fact that it's a bunch of people cobbled together into a place that was created for them. It's really fucking good. And not only do I recommend reading it, I recommend reading it with about 6-7 other people sitting in a circle and talking about it for about an hour.
That would be actually really cool.
Yeah, well, we've been really lucky because the comic owner of Books with Pictures won the Eisner for Best Comic Shop 2 years ago.
Wow.
Nice. And so she knows everybody. So when we've picked books, we've just picked books, but then Katie just goes to her Rolodex and calls people, and we've had Kelly Sue DeConnick has shown up to do a read with us.
Nice.
David F. Walker, Chip Zdarsky has showed up for Public Domain. James Spooner showed up for his book, which I can't think of his book right now, but it's the other great book I've read, High Desert. It's basically about growing up black and punk in the California desert surrounded by skinheads.
Nice.
Great fucking book. But yeah, so it's sometimes it's a little frustrating when the author shows up, because we usually have a core group that's X amount of people, but then when Kelly Sue DeConnick shows up to talk about Pretty Deadly, the whole fucking comic book shop's filled. But it's been it's a good experience, but also just fucking read Nice House on the Lake. Just read it and discuss it. It's so good.
It's really really good.
So yeah, that's what I got.
Cool. Yeah, and thank you for letting me know the sequel's out, because I actually messaged Tynion.
I don't know.
The author. I messaged him, and it was just something to the effect of I got to the end of volume 1. I was just like, oh my God, there's more. What are you trying to do to me? I was like, because it was so intense. It gets just so crazy. I was like, oh my God, there's more. I thought it was going to be over.
Yeah. And it's one of those that you're like, I would love to see where the story goes. But when you're done with that first, that first section of it, you're like, this is complete enough. I could be done here, but I'm glad there's more.
Yeah. If you could stop there and you would be set, but I'm also like, well, shit, now what?
Yeah.
now you've got me. Now I got to find out what's happening.
If you want to read something absolutely bizarre too, we read recently a book called Do a Power Bomb by Daniel. It's the guy who writes the new Transformers books and stuff, but it's about basically a luchador that is in a fight, a supernatural wrestling match to try to get his dead wife resurrected, and by the end of it, he's literally with his daughter wrestling God. It's fun. It's violent as hell, but it's fun.
Kind of wrestling meets Persona.
Yeah,
I was thinking if the ending of Preacher was better.
That too.
Wow. Anyway, sorry, you took me to a happy place where the ending of Preacher was better. I was just gonna throw out there another really weird book that I discovered by accident, which has come out by Image, and I think probably has enough for a couple of volumes of trades at this point. It's called "What's the Furthest Place from Here?"
Oh, good
And
name.
it's a weird coming of age, post-apocalyptic, who knows what the fuck is actually going on, music centric weirdness. It's really strange. And I have not, I like, it would be one of those things where I would almost be like, I don't know if you should read just the first trade because you're still not going to know what's going on. Like, seriously, not going to know what's going on. Where I left off, I'm still not exactly sure what's going on, but it's cool. It's one of those where it's cool enough where you go, okay, yeah, sure, I'll keep going. So that's a nice weird one to check out.
Nice.
John, what have you got?
A turntable and 2 microphones. I got it wrong. So my
That's for
recommendation.
Flavor Flav to show up anytime he wants.
Seriously.
Since we were talking about Olivia Colman earlier, just over the past weekend, I watched her latest movie on Netflix called Wicked Little Letters.
Oh, how was that?
Oh, she's absolutely brilliant, and the actual movie's brilliant and fun, and actually based on real events that occurred at the turn of the last century, pretty much.
Yeah.
And the it's a lot to explain, but I looked up the actual true story and they stay pretty close to it. In the real story, there were a couple more trials, and the lady who was being falsely accused, or not falsely accused, not to spoil it, she went to prison twice. So anyway, but the reality, the general outline and a lot of the details are the same. The names are the same and everything else. So that works out. But it's really fun. It's a fun, and if you have a problem with language, especially ultra vulgar language, this is not a movie for you because the letters were, well, wicked. And not in the flying way.
And
Anyway,
it's not just Olivia Colman, but Jessie Buckley, who's also pretty awesome.
who
She was playing the opposite Olivia Colman.
Rose. I think his name. I think his character's name was Rose, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Rose. Which is again, this is all historically accurate. So, 80% historically accurate. They, switched some things, but they told the story as it was.
Right.
The other one I would really like to recommend is Sunny over on Apple TV.
I saw a trailer. I saw the opening credits for that, I think. What is that?
It is based on a book I have not read because I don't read. Is based on a book. Basically, what it is there's this American woman. She's married to a Japanese gentleman. They have a kid. So that's just setting up the basic storyline. The kid and the father, his father, the husband, crash in. As far as I know, crash in a airplane accident, basically, and with a bunch of other people die. Right. So then that night, or maybe after I forget when it happened, but there's these things called what are they actually called? Well, it's basically a robot. it's a robot that I don't want to give too much away. Oh, the name of the novel was the Dark Manual. But this robot comes in her life called Sunny, and it was given to her by her husband. She hates robots, and everyone has these basically helper robots around that help around the house, but they all have sort of personality. This one seems to have more personality. So I don't want to go too much, but there's
hijinks ensue.
Well, the Yakuza's involved, and
hello.
Yeah. So it becomes more and more. It's not really hygiene. It's a black comedy. I mean, it's
not Yakuza hijinks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so yeah, I can't give. It's really hard to explain without giving too many details because it's been building very nicely, and my wife sort of bailed on it after I think the second episode, but there are a total of six episodes out right now. The whole season is 10. But I've seen all of them up to this point. It's been building really, really nicely. So Sunny over on Apple TV. And because neither of those things can you get on Amazon, and you'll know why in a second. But I would also like to recommend My Lady Jane. And what reminded me of that was when somebody said something about Preacher, because the dude who played Preacher in the TV series is a main cast member in My Lady Jane. Oh. But I watched it. It's very enjoyable. Again, much like the first recommendation, based on a historical event, except completely made up this time. It's historical fantasy about the nine-day queen Jane,
right?
Jane Grey.
The trailer for it looked really good.
It's a very fun. It's not the best thing in the world, but it's a very fun world that they're playing with, especially given that it's taking place in actual events. And if you kind of look at all the names obviously they can use those names. These people have been dead forever, but the names are the same. But they're also certain events that led up to basically her only the real Jane Grey only being in power for 9 days and then eventually killed. They kind of hit all those spots, but there's a whole nother aspect to it. It's more of a fantasy. There's magic and things like that happening. So it's just a very enjoyable, fun show. And you can see that on Prime Video, which is part of Amazon, which is some place that you can go to buy other stuff by going to needcoffee.com/Amazon/ they have that Prime Video stuff, don't they? .com.
Well, John, as always, you hit the nail on the head, because if you go to needcoffee.com/Amazon, you will wind up on the front page of Amazon like you've gone to the front page of Amazon, because that is exactly what you have done through a side entrance. And we get kickbacks on anything that you purchase during that session while you're on Amazon. So bookmark needcoffee.com/Amazon and use it wildly and liberally, because we appreciate it. It gives us coin, which we can throw at the servers to try to keep the gerbils inside fed and running. And I think the novel that Sunny was based on, since it's got the Yakuza in it, would be called Robots Without Honor or Humanity.
Well done there.
Thank you. So my recommendations are not on Amazon, but a couple things that I've been watching on YouTube. There is a channel by a tour guide from London. Her name is J Draper, J.Draper. It's an initial. And I've been meaning to post something about, she normally does the YouTube shorts, but she will occasionally put out a longer video. And she did one where she decided because she had grown up reading the American Girl books. She didn't have the dolls, but she had the American Girl books. So she decided to come up with what would an American doll, what would American Girl style doll be from the UK, and it is hilarious. And especially because you're watching someone, you have the glee, watching someone who is gleefully nerding out on a particular subject to an almost, psychotic degree. So I recommend watching her stuff. I've enjoyed pretty much everything that she's put out, and even the little bits are really cool. They're like minute and a half stuff. And if I ever get over there, I'm going to go on over to tours because it looks like it's cool. The second thing, I am absolutely addicted to the YouTube channel called Veritasium. It is Veritasium, I think. It is they're science videos with a guy who is very good at basically explaining what's going on. Like, he will talk about here's how we managed to take a picture of a black hole, or we're going to go and visit the lab in Japan where they have this giant shake table that they can basically build a building on and simulate an earthquake. So he'll do that, and then he'll explain what's going on, and he does so in a way that even makes sense to me. So if he can make that and make sense to me, it's going to be a piece of cake for everybody else. So, but I really enjoy his approach to the stuff, and it's just a wide range of subjects where you can basically go, okay, this is just some wild idea that he's gotten that he's decided to pursue, and see where it takes him. Because he went out to the LA reservoir where they've covered it with basically black plastic balls to deal with evaporation and other chemical reactions that were happening. And then he says, okay, well, what would it be like to swim in a thing full of these plastic balls? I'll just fill up I'll throw about 10,000 of them in a pool and see what happens. And that's a completely separate video. So you get to see basically a crazy person at work where he has the resources to actually go test things. Like, the question of, would a penny actually kill you if dropped off the Empire State Building? I know. I'm going to lie down and let Adam Savage fly in a helicopter above me and throw pennies at me from height. So you go, I mean, if you're going to do it, you're doing it whole hog, and I appreciate that. So either of those two channels, I recommend, and be prepared to lose pretty much large swaths of time. But
while you're throwing out videos, I'll throw in a couple of honorables.
Go.
The People Make Games installment about competitive farming simulator is really great.
Really?
I love that. That was a fun video. And also, No Clip's got a documentary about the music from Wipeout, the old PlayStation game, if anyone remembers.
Yeah.
No Clip did a documentary. No Clip does these great video game documentaries. I think it's the last one they put out. But it was about the guy who compiled the music for the Wipeout games. And it's just him talking about putting that together and not really being into like techno or rave at the time, and kind of getting there while putting the music in for these games, which is great.
That's fun.
Cool.
I will recommend, while we're talking about this stuff, one of my addictions. It's good for me because I have pretty bad anxiety, and so sometimes, like on a Saturday morning, just sitting and having my coffee, I'll throw on a channel called Solo Travel Japan, and it's this guy who lives in Japan, and he just goes on different forms of transportation in Japan. He does a lot of ferries,
Okay.
and he doesn't film it with people. You know, he makes sure that like, his shots don't get people in them.
Mhm.
And he doesn't narrate them. He has subtitles,
Okay.
and it's just him. Like, he'll show you the layout of this ferry. He'll show you his room. He'll show you what he had for dinner on the ferry. And then sometimes he'll show you the town. He also has a second channel called it's like Solo Eat Japan or something like that, where he'll go to a town and go to different restaurants, and they're just so fucking calm. And so if you're just having a day, and I've watched him long enough to now that, like, some of the running jokes, like the fact he loves to get curry, and so he'll look at a menu and be like, what are we gonna have? And I'm like, oh, there's curry. He's gonna get curry. And then he'll like, oh, I'm gonna order the fish, and then there's curry on the table. He's like, I couldn't resist. It's silly, but it's also just so fucking calm to him. Just show like the view of the ocean outside his ferry as he's going from like southern Japan to the top. Some of them are like 4 hours, some of them are like 16 hours. He took one that was 5 days, and you're just like, I want to go to Japan and take a ferry somewhere. That looks just great. And I've never wanted to go to Japan. I'm not a Japan guy. So anyway, Solo Travel Japan, they're great.
There you go. It's like slow television that they have in like Scandinavia is what it sounds like.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we have limped across the finish line of another episode of Weekend Justice. Wanted to get one in before Dragon Con happened so that we could at least have some therapy before that hits. And I think, as we are wont to do, as we reach this milestone, such as it is, at the end of however much time has passed, that we take a look at each other in shock and awe from what we've done, what we've accomplished or not accomplished, and simply say, kayaks.
Fucking kayaks.
I think I have one of those in a box somewhere. Kayak.
Probably do. Did it fit in the Kia Soul though?
Well, that took some doing.
Kayak in
That
a
took some doing.
box.
But if you put one of the front seats down, you could probably just get it in.
Yeah, because I now know.
Obviously, not the driver's side, because that would be really uncomfortable.
That would be
but I now know really well that the back of a Kia Soul is with the back seats down to the front seat pushed all the way up is 6.5 feet by 4.5 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So a kayak, you figure, is probably about 7 feet. Yeah, if you put it all the way up to the
Tilt it.
You might be able to get it in there.
If you tilt, yeah.
There you go.
Also, shout out to John for keeping the gag going of always recommending an Amazon thing, because that you've been doing that since before I ever recorded an episode. Back when I was a listener to the show, you were pulling that gag, and you have managed to keep it going for years. Of the whole whenever you hand it off to Widge, you always like specifically say you can get that from Amazon. It's a gag you've been having going for a long time.
I have never said that once before tonight.
I know. You're right. Excuse me.
Everything we do here is completely organic.
Well, that's my point. Is you've managed
scripted.
to keep it. You've managed to keep it alive and not like, oh shit, John's doing that again.
Well,
I appreciate it.
It's listener turnover. We kind of think, in terms of like how comics used to work, like, we think people are leaving after 4 years.
Yeah,
so
as somebody
we just throw things out, like we bring Jean Grey back. It's fine.
Fuck it.
So, nobody remembers when she died anyway, so who cares?
As someone who has done a long run of a show, it's hard to keep that gag going and keep it alive for as long as you have. So, slow clap.
Speaking of gags, I do have another recommendation. Oh, no.
Okay. What's that?
Something I'm obsessed with watching.
Is it something that we can say in mixed company?
I started that with speaking of gags, so probably not.
No, okay.
And I'm not being serious, as far as you know.
Currently, it's a free country, even in Florida.
Yeah, we have signs that say that. It is the free state of Florida.
And allegedly some of the Florida government is actually engaged in the other things. That's fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's okay. They're all consenting.
Dude, whatever floats your boat, man. As long as
Yeah.
nobody's getting hurt, who cares?
I mean, yeah, it's like as long as you can get consent from the couch, do it.
Yep.
That's what I say. As long as it's of age.
So
Yeah, nobody wants the YouTube video of JD Vance touring the IKEA. Nobody
brings up-
wants that. Nobody wants that.
No.
I'm just
it
throwing
kind
that
of
out there.
it kind of changes. It kind of changes the idea of getting a couch off the corner. You know what I mean?
Ew.
I mean, it's just what?
JD Vance in a Kia Soul trying to fit a couch in.
All we know is JD Vance has no soul.
This is true.
Tuffley and I both have souls. JD Vance has no soul.
I also have a tiny little birdhouse in my soul.
Oh, nice.
Kim got me that when I got the car. It was great.
That's actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
Me, I
Shout out
just
to
have a
Kim.
canary.
And
Shout out to Kim.
And Cosette literally has a blue canary in the outlet by the light switch in the bathroom. So
There we go.
there you
We're
go.
all following that.
There you go.
Hi, Johns.
Johnny, you all right? Oh,
Yeah, I was
It's
just picking up my cards.
okay.
I just threw it off.
All right. I think
Gravity's failing. We should probably end this.
yeah, probably. I think it's time to run away. And I have to pee.
And you all have to figure out which house you're moving to. You can move to each other's houses.
What? What is
We
happening
moved.
now?
Everybody has to move every
As
episode.
it's set up right now, this this half of the screen has moved. This half of the screen has to move.
It's the new thing we're doing. That's why it takes 6 months for an episode. It's
No,
the new
yeah.
thing we're doing.
No,
Everybody's
I
moving
moved.
house.
I did move. Granted,
Speaking
it
of
was
moving,
17
moving,
years ago.
Which has a movement going on right now.
You can move into each other's houses. It's fine.
Oh,
It
Lord.
counts.
You did say you had to run to the bathroom.
That's true. Yes.
Yeah. So take care.
Thanks, guys.
Bye. Convenience.
Bye.
Yeah.